Greetings, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Watch World. I hope all is well. And it was another beautiful day here today. I think we got up to, I don't know, about the mid 70s. I think maybe 73, 74, somewhere around in there. It wasn't too bad. It's supposed to be real nice this weekend. I think tomorrow we're back in the high 70s. I think Saturday is supposed to be in the 80s. It's good to see y'all. Prepper 101. Good evening. Lily J. B. Charming. Always good to see y'all. I hope all is well. Well, allegedly tomorrow spring begins, so see how that goes. Oh yeah. Yeah, today was one of those type of days that here too. You could have just opened the windows and been fine with that. It was a little cool to start the morning, but it warmed up fast. Allegedly, of course. Yeah. Besides it being a little cooler the last couple of days, it's kind of been spring here for really the last couple of weeks, it seems like. And everything's coming alive, everything's blooming. You know, the birds and the wildlife are out in full effect. Seen some more hummingbirds today. They done made their way back from wherever they come from. Yeah, same here. The last two nights was a little chilly, but it was well above freezing. It's supposed to be sunny and in the 80s Saturday, so that's good. I got a few outdoor events I'm gonna go check out Saturday. Maybe you went backwards in the future, you know? Maybe you went back in time and didn't even know it, Bonnie. Yeah, I thought most of your devices they automatically do that. Oh, I could imagine. Yeah, on a windy day, trying to do a beehive and stuff like that. Yeah, I've never been hands on with something like that. I like to try it out and experience it. Um, but yeah, it definitely looks like an interesting experience for sure. Mary Freeland, good to see you. Says first chiropractic visit today. We'll be testing neck area certain so much. Man, well, hopefully they able to get you some relief or see what's going on with you. Hmm. Definitely be praying for you, Mary. Mm, I'll definitely be. Me and Savannah will definitely be meeting up at some point this summer. I don't know at what point. I definitely can't guarantee it'll be this weekend. Pat Evans, always good to see you. I hope as well. Yeah, if they make a bee suit big enough for me, I'd definitely try it out, you know? Golden Sigh, good to see you. I hope all is well. I know you were under the weather a little bit. I hope you've gotten over that. I get my local honey from a couple different sources, but one of the guys or one of the individuals I've started getting it from the last couple years. He told me anytime I wanted to come out there and check out the hives and stuff, just let him know. I need to take him up on his offer. Zed, good to see you, Zed. Yeah, that would be cool. Be charming. How long does it take? How long does it take before it's time to what's the word I'm looking for? My mind just went blank. Until it's time to harvest the honey. How long does something like that generally take in between rebuilding? Anarchy television. Shoot. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing that the RDF is set to 100 hertz. I don't know. I'll take that as a compliment for right now. Shoot, let's see here what we got going on. Oh, it's total chaos and total pandemonium. Let's just see. Let's just put the link out there and see what happens, you know? Big Stank, what's up, buddy? I hope all is well. You know, it's just a show about everything and nothing all at one time. Happy Spring Eve. I know there's probably somebody out there that's probably still got a couple feet of snow on the ground, but shoot, it's officially spring in the south. Well, hello, hello.
Hello, hello. How are you?
Doing well. How about yourself?
Doing well. Getting ready for growing season.
Oh, yeah, it's that time of the year, ain't it?
Yeah, it's that time of the year. I got
I'm
my
way
Bonnie
behind.
cups all filled up.
Nice. You know, it was, well, I did it, well, actually, the last 2 years. The second year, I just kind of went back up there around the same time I did the first year, but towards like uh towards the end of spring, beginning of summer. I know like some of the places in my area they start to like change out some of their inventory of stuff. Well, I went to Lowe's one day looking to get something, and in the back, like where they have the pot and soils and stuff at, there was these huge bins just full of like different size pots. You know, some like smaller, like Bonnie pots, like you start stuff out in, or even some like bigger ones that like small shrubs and trees came in. So finally, I found a manager, and he said, "Shoot," he said, "those are all getting sent back or going in the trash." He was like, "To be honest," he's like, "you can have as much as you want."
Oh,
So, so
nice.
I went through that whole pile and found some good ones, some that I knew that would last or wasn't busted up. You know, shoot, I filled up a whole buggy full of those things.
That's nice. That's like a gold mine
Mm.
right there.
Yeah, I
I get
kept some. I gave some away, but yeah, I mean, to repurpose or start stuff in, they're perfect for stuff like that.
yeah, I keep all the Bonnie cups. Anything I get, like I just bought 5 strawberry plants in Bonnie cups. So they'll just add to my collection. And then the small 1 gallon black pots, they're
Hmm.
good to reuse too. And you just reuse them until you can't reuse them anymore.
Gotcha.
But if you want your tomatoes to be like, because mine are already, they're growing. I have to post, I'm going to post more pictures this weekend of them. but within 2 weeks they have multiple leaves on them.
Nice.
So they're getting up there. And then I'll transfer them to the 1 gallon pots until um, middle of April. And then I'll plant them outside.
Do y'all have
We,
like a when would be y'all's like last frost date, or do you have like an average last frost date generally?
average last frost date is like the third week of April or the fourth week of April.
Okay.
Because we just had 25-degree weather
Hmm.
at night
Yeah, I bet it
2
got
nights
pretty
ago.
cold. I know you're a little bit further north than I am. But yeah, it was down in the 30s the last couple nights here.
Yeah,
Nothing
it got
freezing,
cold.
but yeah, definitely dipped back down.
And then I bought Lowe's had the half barrels on sale,
Hmm.
and they're usually they cost about $200 for a half barrel, but they were half price. So I bought two of those for the strawberries.
Yeah, I know sometimes they say like a people get like a winter snap or a winter freeze or whatever, but I think this past weekend or this beginning of this week, because actually like it was weird because Sunday night I think the low was like 67, and then Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday it was like mid to upper 30s. So I think that was our winter snap, hopefully, or Easter snap. I'm sorry, not winter snap. Yeah, winter's over with. It's in the books.
I'm hoping it warms up soon because I want to transplant those strawberries as soon as possible. Plus, I have some strawberry plants outside in pots that they're doing pretty well. They lasted all winter and stuff like that. They last well in the pots. Like I don't have to cover them up or anything. If they're in pots, they don't die. But I want to
Strawberries.
yeah,
Yeah,
they
the
go.
ones I have are the ever-bearing variety, and I planted them like 3 or 4 growing seasons ago, and they did pretty good. Except for one of them, I lost 2 of them when Helena came through. I didn't get a whole lot of damage on my property directly, but there was like a few little small limbs that came down and stuff. But yeah, I mean they've been going strong through all of that.
Yeah, they go pretty strong and for a while. Like so, I just want to. I think in the pots they don't have enough room to grow or propagate into
Yeah,
different. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
that's why I bought the two big half barrels.
Yeah, I've got a couple in 5 gallon buckets. I think I need to take them out the soil and maybe separate them. I think they've got a little bit too crowded in there.
Check out, see if Lowe's or Home Depot has the half barrels on sale. If you like the half barrels, they're the ones that are cut straight down the middle from top to bottom, and they sit on the side, their sides, and they have
Okay, I know
little
what you're talking about. Yeah, instead of
yeah
cutting like halfways, they're cutting from top to top half barrel.
yeah, and they come with legs. They're not that high off the ground, but they come with legs too. And if they have them on sale, I'd say under $100 is on sale. Grab them up because you can put potatoes in them if you want to grow potatoes.
Yeah.
I'm going to use mine for strawberries though, but they'd be good planters for potatoes too.
Oh, no doubt. Yeah.
Yeah, because they're deep. They're very very deep.
Eric, good to see you. I hope all is well. This Saturday it's supposed to be beautiful weather. I think it's supposed to be in the 80s and sunny here. I'll be down at some point checking out the local outdoor market down on the river. It
What do they
started
sell
uh
there?
it starts this Saturday and they run all year all the way until the last weekend before Thanksgiving. They have it every Saturday unless it's horrible weather or something.
Oh, okay. What do they sell? Do they sell plants and stuff
Oh
there?
yeah, everything. I mean, there's people that sell food, cakes, all different type of things. There's a guy and his wife there that they sell like fresh produce that they grow throughout the season, and they also sell like she makes different tea blends. You know, like different herbal tea blends and stuff. There's people that sell like homemade crafts. There's
Yeah.
people that own like cows and different ranches and stuff around the area. They'll bring in some of their meats and different products from their farm. You know, people that have eggs, all type of stuff.
See, I would like that. I would definitely be there.
It didn't involve, you know, as spring goes on and as summer gets here, people just like growing different things as things become more freshly and readily available. You know, it changes. Some things change, but you know, some people, some of the food vendors, they sell like the same thing throughout the year.
We have a market around here, but it's expensive. But then the church puts on a market that's cheaper,
Hmm.
and it's just like people, average people, go and it's kind of like a flea market type thing, but they only sell food. So, like, if you want any like homegrown herbs or anything like that, dried herbs, not dried, um, pecans from people's pecan tree, that kind of stuff. And
Oh
it's
yeah,
relatively not expensive. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like, but you can,
Most stuff there is pretty affordable. I mean, of course, a lot of things have gone up in price. Some things is harder to get. So I mean, of course, price changes even for those type of people, unfortunately. But you know, something like that, I don't mind spending a little bit more. You know, when I can meet who made it, who grew it, who raised it. You know, especially if it's good quality.
yeah, and it's nice to give back to the community. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
Instead of buying it in a big store, these are people that live around here.
straight to the source,
Yeah,
farm to table or shop to table, whatever it is that you're buying or purchasing.
yeah. That's basically what it is. It's very like I bought a bunch of like dry dill and dry herbs and stuff like that, and they were pretty good. And they were like $75 a bag, or cents a bag rather, 75 cents a bag.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of like a snack bag type thing. So it was worth it, but it goes to the people, and they sell them right out of the cars and right out of their trucks and stuff. And there are ladies that make bundt cakes and different types of sweetbreads
Oh
and sell
yeah.
them there too.
Yeah,
And
there's a
that's a,
lady I'm looking to check out. Hopefully I get there before she sells out. She sells like different she's there pretty much every Saturday, but she makes like homemade breads, different sourdough breads, different things like that. Oh
oh
man, it's
wow.
so good.
And I also they sell like the local. I always buy local honey.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's what I always look for.
I like the wildflower honey, but I also like the blueberry honey. That blueberry honey.
Mm. Yeah, I bet it's got a certain taste to it, huh?
Oh, it does. It's really good.
Now, they don't label it as blueberry honey, but one of the other local places that I get honey from is the Bynes. They're called the Bynes Blueberry Farm. They've been like a blueberry and strawberry farm for like years. And then within the last, I don't know, maybe like 20 years, they started getting into like beekeeping and stuff like that and started producing their own honey. So, I mean, theirs does have kind of like a distinctive taste. I can't really describe it. So it may be something like that, you know, because I know they do produce a ton of blueberries out there on their farm.
Yeah, the blueberry honey is really good, but I like the wildflower bunny honey too. And then what's the other one? The um
Clove or clover honey or something like that. Or
clover
that's
honey or
different.
something. Yeah, but I'm more my preference is to the blueberry. I like the blueberry honey.
Yeah, it's one of them type of places you can go buy from them or you can like pay and you can go pick it yourself.
Yeah, we have strawberry farms here, but they charge a lot, and it's pick your own.
Yeah.
and that's kind of why I started growing mine. But I do want to go to the peach farm. I've never been there before, so I want to go check it out because I
Oh,
want some
I love it.
peaches. I love
Especially this
peaches.
time of the year when all the peach blossoms are starting to open up, man, it just smells amazing out there.
I'm like, I want me some peaches. I want some fresh. I go to the grocery store and all the peaches are hard. You know what I mean? They're
Yeah, it's
not
like
like,
one big pit. You know, where's the peach at?
yeah, exactly. And it's like they're hard and they don't ripen right. Even if you put them in a sunny area, they get mushy. You know what I mean? Instead of actually ripening,
Yeah,
and they're still sour. So I want to get some actual peaches, can them. I like to can. I can a lot of food. So
that's good to do. It's good to do, know how to do. For
I think it is. I
sure.
think it's kind of like something that needs to definitely be brought back. You know?
Oh yeah, definitely. You know, I mean, of course, there's always, in any generation, there's always that moment where times like these, or Mama said there'd be days like this. There's always these moments, but I guess in the current timeline that we're living and experiencing, it is something good to know and do. You know,
Yeah.
uh, offset the food bill a little bit, or if nothing else, get a bunch up, can it, preserve it, so you have it when it's not readily available or not in season. That way, you ain't, like you said, you ain't have to go to the store and waste your money on the horrible peaches that you can't even use anyway.
Yeah.
It's just a biodegradable paperweight at that point.
I couldn't believe it. All the all the stone fruit was like hard as a rock. Like it's like a baseball. You could break a window with it. And I was like, I don't want to buy that because it's not ripe. Because they pick them and they ship them. You know what I mean? But they're not
Yeah,
shipped from local. They're shipped from overseas and stuff. So
you
they,
figure for the shipment time and all the time it has to take before it gets here to there, a lot of that stuff gets picked a lot sooner just to compensate for that shipping time. If it was to get picked right there, I mean, by the time it got to us, it'd be applesauce, peach sauce.
yeah.
But it's like, yeah,
So I just want to go into the farm and then, like, I did that with corn last year. Corn went on sale for like 20 cents an ear, and I bought a ton of it and just froze it all
yeah.
because it's cheaper than buying a can of corn and it's cheaper than, what it'll be like now. You know what I mean? But I also
And it's
grow my own
better
corn.
quality than in the can. It hasn't went through that whole being processed and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Put your own flavor, your own seasonings, and limit all that processed stuff as much as possible. I know sometimes it's hard to get around it, but
Well, that's the thing. It's like when you buy something in bulk like that, if you know how to preserve it and preserve it properly, it still tastes fresh. Like I just had some the other day, even and it still tastes because I have the vacuum food sealer for corn. I don't can it or anything. I just
yeah,
freeze it, and it still tastes like it was just done. You know what I mean? But I also grow my own corn too.
doing a lot of things. I haven't grown corn.
Corn you have to grow in patches. Everybody thinks you grow in rows. You don't grow corn in rows. It has to be done in patches. So like I'm trying to think like a square foot you can grow 4 ears and you put them in patches of 4 if you're growing them like in your backyard. But
Yeah, yeah,
unless you
yeah.
have I'm not
Yeah,
talking
because you're
about
not
if you
having
have
acres and acres of it to compensate like a bigger field would be. Yeah, you'd have to do it like that.
yeah, if you're doing it like a big field, but I'm doing it. I don't have that much land to do to do that much with. But I have a 12 foot by 3 foot plot that I do corn in. And I can get about um 26 plants in there.
Oh, that
It's
ain't bad.
yeah. which produces 1 to 2 ears of corn each. So, all depending on your variety and stuff, you can usually get 1 to 2 ears each, and then you just freeze them.
Yep. Yeah, and then there's like so many different varieties for like certain things. You know, like certain varieties are good for certain things, or certain varieties are good for like making popcorn or like making grits. You know.
Yeah, like the harmony corn and
Yeah.
the um. I just grow the sweet corn.
There
I
you
do
go.
the hybrid yellow and white corn, the bicolor corn or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
But I do multiple varieties of tomatoes. Like I have cherry tomatoes, Roma tomatoes. I got a hybrid Roma that I'm trying out for the first time this year to see how they do. And then I have beefsteak tomatoes too. What do you like to grow?
I try to grow a little bit of everything. I grow different tomato varieties, like you said. Like I grow different types of cherry tomatoes, purple Cherokee, Romas. Um, I've grown different like beefsteak varieties, stuff like that. Peppers, different type of peppers, different type of bell peppers, sweet peppers, hot peppers, jalapenos, cucumbers, herbs. Shoot, just as much as I can, you know.
Yeah,
Things I like to eat, you know.
I grow like during the autumn. I grow cabbage, broccoli, spinach, and lettuce. And during the summer, I grow the corn, the squash, the tomatoes, peppers, um, usually potatoes too, and um, cucumbers.
Oh yeah,
And I like
cucumbers are a must. I love them.
the pickling variety of cucumbers works better here. I don't know about down there, but I think it's because of how hot the sun is, and my garden's full exposure
Uh-huh.
to sun. The pickling cucumbers do better.
Hmm.
But they're just as good because you can buy the mini cucumbers in the store. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
So they're just as good to eat. They're crispier.
Oh yeah, yeah. I got this. I forget the name of it. It's a certain type of cucumber, a different variety. I'm trying this year. I forget the name of it. I got the seeds inside. It's supposed to be some type of self pollinating, different type of flower. So
Okay.
it's supposed to be high yield. It's supposed to do good like in the heat and the sun. So if it can survive the Georgia summer, then it might be a winner.
Let me know. Let me know what they are and if they survive.
It definitely will. Yeah, that's the thing on some things, like the further south you get, the summertime heat, it could just burn up some stuff. That's why I like to try to get my tomatoes and peppers going earlier because, they take a little bit longer to get going. So
Yeah.
they could at least be somewhat established before it gets too hot.
Well, the California bell peppers, they last throughout the heat. That's why I use that's usually what I'm trying a different pepper this year, but the California bell peppers, um they do well even in 100-degree weather, full exposure to sun.
Yeah,
But the tomatoes are hard when it's full exposure to sun. And the corn's usually done by that time anyway. If it gets too hot, corn's like, okay, I'm done.
yeah, yeah. You got to get it in there the early windows like some plants. Yeah, yeah. That's why I try to like do different things. In ground raised beds, container gardening. Um, So that way, at least in some container gardening, if it gets too hot in one area or whatever, you could just pick up the pot, move it to a different area. If you're able.
Yeah,
Um,
that's what we do with our potatoes. We grow them in pots. We usually grow potatoes in pots. And I do all raised garden beds. But I'm going to try the zucchini this year, vertical, growing it vertically. Has anyone ever done that? Have you done that?
yeah, yeah, I've done that. I've done it. I've done it with zucchini and squash. And it did well. And squash and zucchini, especially depending on what variety you get. Once it gets going, I mean, it's like the stuff just grows overnight. But
When
yeah,
you grow,
you definitely can do it vertical, just like you would a cucumber or any other vining thing. You can train it to go. Have you a string tied up to something.
I was going to try it with the tomato cages. Can you think that would work?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, I would think so. Yeah,
all right, I'll try it because I get a lot of in past years I've gotten a lot of the squash borers.
yeah, yeah. It'll keep it off the ground, and stuff like that.
So I'm
Like,
hoping that'll help with any squash bugs and the squash borers and stuff. Because usually it's a shame because usually by August the squash is completely done because it gets the squash bugs. And I've tried to keep them off of them. Like, and there's just no keeping them off of them. I'm like, anything I do, it just doesn't work.
mm,
So I'm going to try to grow them vertically in hopes that if they're not that low to the ground. Do you need
yeah.
like do you need stakes or anything? Like
You could always well, I mean, of course, I mean, there's many different ways to do it, but how I've did it before is I have like these little, I guess like little wooden gardening stakes. I don't know, I got it from somewhere, any different type of stake, and then when it first starts, I'll have like a stake up beside it, so it kind of trains the plant to kind of start growing in one direction. Because if you just have it growing on the ground or in a bucket, it's just going to go for the lowest spot and start spreading out. So I will do that at the beginning to train it up. And
okay.
I've did like gardening twine and stuff like I do with like string tomatoes and different things up like that, or cucumbers. I've used that, but yeah, there's always different type of methods. Whatever you have available.
Because I use stakes for the tomatoes and for not so much for the peppers, but for the tomatoes, I use stakes in the cages. So I was thinking if I had more, I'll go out and buy more cages and do the squash that or zucchini that way, and then hopefully that'll help with the bugs.
And then do like, I'm pretty sure you know about like companion planting certain things around that's beneficial or may keep stuff away. I
Hmm.
always look into planting stuff like marigolds or stuff like that that keeps away like pests or bugs, you know.
I do marigolds and I do dill in the along with them.
Sweet. Oh
Um,
yeah, I love dill. Man, it
I
was like
love dill too.
I haven't planted, I didn't plant any last year because I had so much from the 2 years before. And the second year, it's like I let a bunch go to seed, and there was just a whole patch of dill that just came up, so I didn't even have to plant any more.
Oh wow.
From Vicksburg to Prattville? I think so. One.
Evening, Miss Bunny.
I was just
Good
looking at the
evening.
map, and the places that we stayed also.
She might be time traveling. I don't know
I
if she's
know.
with us.
Sorry. My
Time travel.
daughter was talking to me and I was over there and oh goodness. I didn't mean to interrupt y'all.
No, it's perfect. Just talking about a little bit of everything, man. They kind of guess gardening and stuff like that right now.
Uh, I have so much work to do when I get home.
How's your trip going? It's been eventful.
A little bit. um, When we left the motel this morning, the air conditioner wouldn't work. Uh-oh. Why am I doing that?
It was an echo. I don't hear it anymore. I think it cleared up.
Okay. And so we were going to CVS, and well, first we found this meat farm. So we went there, got meat, came back. We'd been driving for about an hour or two. And then that's when we realized the air conditioner wasn't working. And we were going to CVS, and I saw a Firestone. So after CVS, we turned around, went back to Firestone. And I'm telling you, we have met the nicest people everywhere. They were like, we can't get the part till noon tomorrow, and it won't be ready till tomorrow evening. And so we're like, okay, I guess we're stuck here for 2 days. And then they just got on the phone and started working deals, and the part was delivered while we were still standing there, and they got it done today, so we can head out again tomorrow.
Awesome. Well, it kind of put you, I guess, a day behind, but it all worked out for the best, I guess.
Yes. The Uber, he was awesome. He's a veteran, and he even said, I want to give y'all my personal phone number. If y'all need to go anywhere, let me know. Don't worry about going through Uber. And we're like, oh my goodness. And then just one of the guys at the Firestone shop, when my daughter had to come back here, he let her use his truck. And I guess they're not used to, when we use someone's vehicle, it comes back vacuumed, clean, and gassed. And so he was
You can
pretty
borrow my
freaked out
truck, man, if that's
that
the case.
happened. Well,
Yeah.
if we're going to use someone's vehicle, that's the least you can do.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
I don't know if everybody does that, but he was happy.
Yeah, you can borrow my vehicle anytime if you're going to clean it, vacuum it. You can borrow it for free if you're going to do all that.
Well, that was just too sweet of them to everything that they did. I mean, but yeah, I was like, what are we going to do for 2 days without a car? But it all worked out. They got it done quicker than they thought it would. As soon as we got here with the Uber, they called and said, okay, it's ready. And that's why my daughter had to go back. And then the Uber driver drove her back because he was sitting there when she got the message. And it's just amazing the way it's been working out. Yeah.
Charlie said you could borrow his. You said, come get mine. All right, guys.
Hey,
I have to get going. You guys have a good night.
You too, Zach. I appreciate you coming up.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Have a good
It's
night.
good to see you.
Good to see you, Bonnie. And I have the Bonnie cups. I'm going to take a picture of the actual cup and post it so you can see the Bonnie cup.
Okay.
It's going viral.
Going viral. All right, guys, have a good night.
You too.
Bye.
Well, it's good they had all that in the whatever town or city you were stopping in. It's good they had all that type of stuff readily available.
I know.
Wasn't too
I
far in the
know.
boonies.
Because we've been in some really small towns. So, yeah, it could have been a whole lot worse. Even if we would have kept driving it, they told me it would have blown the motor.
It was the thermostat housing.
Mm,
Do
well, that's
what, baby?
good. Yeah.
It was the thermostat housing.
Yeah, it was the thermostat housing.
Oh yeah. That's good. So y'all be back on the road tomorrow, huh?
Yep.
Sweet.
Nothing's going to hold us down. Darn.
Well, that's good. It seems like the weather's definitely warming up here, so at least maybe y'all won't have to run into no more cold throughout the
I
trip.
know. It's kind of chilly out there right now. It's I keep having to go out there to smoke a cigarette.
I think high 40s here tonight, and
It
then
says it's getting down to 43 tonight.
okay, that ain't too bad. It's cold enough, but
It's not. I just put my throw around me and go outside.
there you go. Anthony, good to see you, Anthony. Good to see all y'all. I appreciate y'all being here.
I'm in Alabama. Watt's favorite state.
Says nobody ever. Who has ever said that? Who's ever actually said that? Who are these people? No, I love Alabama though. I know I talk smack about them at certain parts of the year, but yeah, it's still a beautiful state. It has beautiful places.
Oh my goodness, it does. That meat farm, and he and his wife. No,
What all did they
I
have? What
lied.
all type of animals or
I
what all
think
products did they offer?
the Uber driver, him and his wife, were from New York, and they came down here and bought some property, and he said he is happier than he's ever been.
Nice. Where'd they relocate from?
New York.
New York State. Okay.
I said, that's because all the good people are in the South. And he said, I know. If those people up north would realize that, we'll have an overflow.
I guess everywhere or a different place, or I guess the further you get away from whatever you consider home could be more of an extreme than the other. But I guess to just generally say, New York State to Alabama, I mean, that's pretty big extreme, a lot more laid back, slow pace. I mean, even in your bigger cities, it's nothing compared to a New York or a New York City for sure.
Oh, yeah. Mother Freedom, good to see you.
Mother Freedom. I'm glad I finally know how to pronounce that correctly. It's good to see you. I hope all is well. Miss Cheryl, always good to see you. Anybody else? Appreciate y'all being here. Spring Eve. It's Spring Eve, Bonnie. What you think about that, allegedly?
Thank goodness.
It's officially here, they say. It's coming.
Yeah.
I feel it. I checked my Googles today and it said the air quality was good for running, so must be true.
Awesome. So you're a runner?
Well, I'm not gonna say runner like I consider myself a runner. I mean, I do try to stay active, as much as possible. Of course, I like to go out and explore. So walking, I don't have no problem with walking and going out and exploring things. But yeah, try to stay as active as possible. It's not like what I do for an occupation doesn't keep me mobile, but
Right.
different type of exploring and mobility.
Yes, be charming. There's been a lot of trouble in Texas with spring breakers, Corpus and Galveston.
Yeah, it's that time, spring break season.
And we didn't even think of that when we started on this, or we would have rethought that. But it hasn't been so bad, really.
Y'all been well, I don't know your exact travels, but I think you've been probably more mainly inland right now.
Yeah.
You may see it at some places, but generally more your coastal areas for like
Yeah.
spring break.
Yeah. That's, yeah, I'm glad I chose not
Don't get
to
it
go
wrong now. They're always
coastal.
looking to have a good time for some reason in Alabama. I do respect them for that. They will show some hospitality. Whether they like
Yes.
you or not, you're still invited. I love it.
Yep. Yeah. There's a place called, what'd you say that place was called? Cookout. It's called Cookouts.
What
The
place?
fast food chain Cookout.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, if you
Somebody
can
was,
find you a good one, it ain't too bad. I guess it's about like anything now. It's kind of hit and miss,
did I lose you again?
I'm here. Are you here? I don't know. Maybe everything just got lost, Bunny. What's happening?
It's me.
Uh-oh. You're aiding away. You're on that Alabama Wi-Fi.
It's not real great here.
That's what I'm saying. You see what I'm saying? It has its moments. I think their whole system's connected with Starlink. It's probably a cloud coming over. Give it about 5 minutes to reboot.
Yeah. Well, and that's the Uber was like, if you can find a cookout, you just go there. And I was like, so if someone's having a cookout, you just go walking up here?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, if you don't know about it, yeah. I don't know how far that franchise goes, but yeah,
I
we have
know,
a
but
few of them here in my area. Like burgers, hot dogs, all the that type of stuff. Milkshakes, different things.
yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, you just make a right, bust a left, go by the Family Dollar. Once you pass the Family Dollar, you'll see the courthouse. Keep on going till you see the Christmas lights on the front porch. You just pull up, just tell them you're there for the cookout.
Yep. I'm gonna let's see, how do I do that? Copy.
Careful, we're already running on limited bandwidth.
That's why I'm gonna switch to my phone. I, I don't just gonna
Find the smoke. Oh man.
okay.
Still
I'll be right
all right,
back.
10-4. We shall be here. I think maybe she had to switch devices, maybe. It's the mysteries of the interwebs. Yeah, we had to do a job today. It was nothing really. We just had to trace down a couple lines and see which breakers were feeding them. It was a gym here locally. It used to be a Gold's gym, but they sold out or it got bought out. Now it's a different. It's still a gym, but a different franchise took it over. So they were getting all new uh, heating and air units on the roof, and we had to go shut off all the breakers and kill power to them, and disconnect the wires so they could get the old units off the roof and bring the new units in. But I don't know. I thought it was pretty cool. That gym was a little bit different. Like we had to go into the back room to the panel room, and as soon as you walked through the back door, it was like a big movie theater, and it's where they what do they call it? Some type of cardio room, and it was all your cardio bikes, but it was set up just like a movie theater in there. So that was pretty interesting. I said, I don't know, man. I come in here and start watching a movie. I'm not thinking about working out. Went to sleep back here. Um, not sure when she's heading back. Um, I think she says she's currently in the Alabamian region. Let's see here. We got our on the ground Alabama correspondent. How goes it?
Is it working now?
I think so.
Woohoo.
I think you're 5x4.
On the ground correspondent.
Yeah.
I should have been doing that because I am not seeing any crazy anywhere. No homeless, no protests, no. And this is what I used to do in Texas and drive around. I'm not seeing that anywhere. So I thought, okay, it's just here. No, we've been through 3 states now and no craziness.
So you made it through Arkansas, Mississippi, and Alabama?
Yes.
Man, I don't know. Maybe it's too quiet. Sometimes that can be the trifecta. You know, that could be the trifecta in some news cycles. I don't know. You just got to wait till in the morning. Wait till you see Alabama the morning of, see how things are, see what starts creeping around once the sun comes up.
Right. And who is that? Donnie? No, I never dated Ronan. He's in his 30s, but I still didn't date him. Ronan's just a friend.
I think I dated a Ronina once. Ronina? I think I dated one once. I think that was
There
her
you
name,
go.
Ronina.
Yeah.
She was a spicy Venezuelan.
Oh.
How about the other night? And how about in the World Baseball Classic? I don't know if anybody follows baseball, but the World Baseball Classic finale was the other night. And guess who made it to the finale?
Who?
The United States versus Venezuela.
Yes, but Venezuela won, didn't they?
Yeah, Venezuela beat America.
Yep.
It was embarrassing. And I think that was Venezuela's first ever World Baseball Classic championship. I believe. I could be wrong. But I
Yeah.
thought it was kind of interesting with the optics. Of course, a lot of different countries are represented. So, I mean, ultimately, it could have been any combination or whatever. But I thought it was, myself personally, kind of interesting with the United States versus Venezuela optics.
Kind of interesting the timing too, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
You know, but yeah, it was embarrassing. I don't know what the American team was thinking of in the finals. Man. Not to discredit the Venezuelan team, I mean, they battled all the way through to get there too, but still.
Yeah. It's still pretty cool being in the world championship. I mean, that
Yeah.
doesn't happen every day.
Nope. He had to settle for the silver. I don't even know if they give him a silver. I don't know how that works.
Yeah. Surely they were compensated something.
Oh yeah, something, or there's different. Yeah, there's always different type of deals and stuff,
A ring or
Uh,
something.
oh yeah, yeah. Endorsement deals, maybe different type of, I don't know, bonus, or I don't know
Yeah.
how that works.
Yeah.
I mean, heck, you might win the championship in that and never win the championship in the big leagues. Who knows?
Mhm. That's true. I don't think they get much of a break from training.
What's that?
Any any of those sports or
I mean, you know, whether you like it or not, I mean, of course, we understand it is what it is, but to
mm,
play on any professional level, I mean, it never stops. You know, the season may end, but I mean, ultimately, training and keeping your body in a certain shape or a certain level. I mean, it's year round, no doubt. Just like anything we do, you know,
yeah.
we work
You
at it.
have to. Yeah, you have to. Um my niece that she does these Ironman competitions, her and her husband. And the training that they do every single day, as soon as they wake up, they just take off and it's insane.
The one you're on the trip with,
No, this is
okay,
my niece. She lives in California.
the one that does the Ironman events, you said.
Yes.
Oh yeah, you got to be in. Yeah, I respect those people. Yeah, they're definitely in shape.
Yeah.
Swimming, bicycling, and running all in one event. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's a different type of. You know, that's all of the above. That's physical, mental, everything.
Look at Cheryl, Miss Gymnast.
Not 100 years ago.
No, it wasn't 100 years ago.
Shoot, the letter G wasn't even invented that far ago. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, what was I about to say? I can't even remember.
Don't you hate that? I think they call that a brain fart.
Yeah, I think it's just the energy shift to the new season.
Yep, that's it.
Uh, I don't know. It'll come back to me at some point. Napping, sitting in a chair for 2 hours, and getting up and walking to the bathroom is yeah. That could be a triathlon. Once you make it to a certain stage, I can see that. You know, I mean, I don't know if there's a quadathlon. I don't know if there's such a thing. You could throw in there eating a sandwich or something.
There you go. Or a snack at least.
What your true? Can I get a true copy? I don't know. I wish I had a true copy. You know, I
Same
mean to
here.
get, to get a true copy. I mean, we know things can be changed. Something can reprint it. Of course, like any type of literature, the oldest, uh, the oldest is better. Um, of course, it could have even had revisions itself at some point. That we didn't know about. But it kind of gives you a more in tune word or a vision, whatever it was trying to portray before certain things got changed. we see it happen in words and meanings and different things like that. We see it happening in almost like in real time sometime these days.
Um, a lot of times Amazon will have used books. You might try that.
Uh, I don't know.
I
Yeah.
don't know.
Well, like the guy, I can't even. What's the guy's YouTube channel? He's from here in Augusta. I actually met this guy a couple times. It's been a long time ago, but yeah, I've met the guy. And he's got a ton of you know the channel I'm talking about, the guy that does the different gardening videos and stuff like that, and talks about the old Bibles and different literature and stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, he's got a ton of old like religious texts and different texts like that. It's not all religious, it's older books about a lot of different subjects.
I understand. I'll look and see if I can find how to get a copy of that for you.
But yeah, I'm sure there's a copy. Yeah,
Yeah. Or even an audiobook would be good.
could be.
I don't know if
Yeah,
that would suffice. But
I mean, ultimately, it's good to have some hard literature or hard copies of anything. Any subject that may be important, or
yeah,
unless something happens, it's always there.
I know. Because an audiobook, well, I don't know how they do that. When I worked at the library, you got a machine and you would get it's like a disc or something in a box. I never did open a box and look inside.
Yeah, I don't know. Right, with different programs and the way stuff is now, it would be so much easier than it once was. I mean, especially, of course, with AI, as much as we like to interact with it or use it, I mean, it's there, we see it. A lot of those applications definitely make it easier. A
Yeah,
programmer could have like a pretty much any voice, any pre-programmed voice, and he could put that book or whatever in there as a program, and then I mean it would be almost like at the snap of a finger that literature would instantly be an audio book now. However long it took them to download it and transfer it over,
yeah,
versus years ago when you actually had to have a human before they had to program it and they actually had to read it out, and you would just copy it and edit it from there. Yeah, in translation. And ultimately, some things do get lost in translation. Things like
definitely.
that do happen. I mean, in our language, I'm pretty sure there's words that probably have little to no meaning in another language or could mean something different.
Yeah. Oh, well, man. Good to see you.
All right, wow, man. Good to see you. I hope all is well. Yeah, he's been putting out his good to know videos, how to, what if videos.
Oh, I know I'm missing so much on this trip, but I'll catch up.
No, you got time to trip. Enjoy the trip. Live in the moment. Be there.
Yeah, it's definitely a blessing.
Everything you don't want and do want it, we waiting on you when you get back. That's for
Hmm.
sure. Shoot, yeah.
live it and love it.
So y'all gonna be traveling through Alabama still tomorrow, or y'all gonna be heading out of Alabama?
Not sure. I don't know. I think I got a baker's cyst. I don't know if you know what that is, but well, I didn't know what it was until I got one ages ago. But it's not bad. It doesn't hurt. But I got the ace bandage ready just in case.
There you go.
I think I'm gonna just climb in the back on my dog bed and tell her to wake me up whenever we get there, wherever it is.
There you go. Flip the reverse. Flip the roles. Now you can ask, are we there yet?
Yeah. Yeah.
Shoot. I don't think I ever really did that as a kid. I'd say something if I had to say something or was quiet, or I'd just take a nap, you know? Usually about the time we're getting there, I'm waking up. It's perfect timing.
My youngest daughter, we would go, oh, I don't know, 50 to 100 miles. And she would be, are we out of Texas yet? I'm like, we're not leaving Texas. And no, we're not. It takes half a day or longer. It depends on where you're at
Yeah.
to get
30
out of
minutes in
Texas.
Texas, you just going down the road. You
Yeah.
ain't went nowhere. You just went to
Yeah.
town. Shoot, 30 miles.
Cheryl, that's funny because both of us are having allergies pretty bad. And I can't figure out what it is. And so while we were at the garage, the Firestone place, there were these trees. And so I was doing the identify this tree. One of them was a magnolia tree. And I'm
Oh,
like,
yeah, the magnolia. The mighty magnolia. That's a beautiful tree when
yeah.
it blooms.
And the other one was um a Savannah, darn it.
Whatever it is, it's a beautiful tree. I know it.
Yes, it's
I know
got
what
these
you're talking
red
about.
balls on it. Like,
Hmm. Yeah. All those are in bloom around here.
yes. And I'm like, oh, I've got to find a nursery. We did stop at this one little, I guess it was a boutique. It was really pricey. Um, but I wanted something. I've been trying to stop and get some kind of souvenir in each state. And she had these, it's a green ball, and then it's got this stalk sticking up out of it. And they're not in water. They're just sitting there on this round wire thing. And they were all over the place. And I said, okay, I have to know, what is this? And I think it's an azalea. My daughter said something else. I don't know. But you don't you don't do anything to it. You just put it in it likes a dark area, and you don't have to water it. You don't It's the coolest thing. It's sitting in my back
Now,
floorboard.
now azaleas, I don't think it's an azalea. All the azaleas around here is in full bloom, and they come in a variety of colors, pinks,
Oh,
blues,
okay.
whites, purple, all different type of colors, so I mean there's all those are in full bloom. um I don't know exactly what you might be referring to right off the top of my head,
I cannot remember.
but azaleas,
Um,
you'll know an azalea when you see an azalea bush. I mean, it's just these beautiful, like, uh they look like almost like they come to like several different points, like 4 or 5 different points, and the little long little tassels in the middle.
Oh, wow. Well, I just can't believe all the flowers blooming everywhere. It's
Yeah, that's how it
everywhere.
is.
that at that the B&B that I gave y'all a tour of,
Yeah.
that next morning I was in there in the kitchen and I went to wash my hands and I looked out that kitchen window and I just said, "Oh my God." And my daughter comes running there, "What's wrong? What's wrong?" And I said, "You got to see this." And she goes,
Yeah, it's crazy, right?
"I thought something was wrong with you." And she just took off out of there and she never did look until we got outside and we were leaving. And I was out there taking pictures. It was this gigantic bush. You couldn't see anything else but that bush. And it was just covered with these beautiful fuchsia colored blooms. I don't know, but
It
and
probably sounds like an azalea bush.
then when she saw it, she was like, "Oh, oh." And so then she started taking pictures.
Yeah, some of the pictures and some of the different videos I posted have featured some azalea bushes or azalea flowers.
Yeah.
And the magnolias, they'll be getting ready to bloom soon. And then the dogwoods. But yeah, everything else is pretty much full. Some stuff is just it's amazing how it happens. It just seems like it happens overnight, you know?
Yeah. Is the passion fruit blooming yet?
Not yet. Not yet. It'll probably be about uh definitely by this time next month, for sure. This month, and then you'll start seeing the pods and the fruits start develop around May. And that was a nickname we always had for them. We called them May pops, the edible passion fruit
Mm-hmm.
that you eat from them, because it was generally around May or so when they would start popping up and stuff. So we just called them May pops.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah, I have crepe myrtles.
oh yeah,
Those,
crepe myrtles.
those are really easy to grow.
Or even there's a tree called I think it's called the Bradford pear. It doesn't produce like that type of fruit or anything. Some people don't like them, but I think when
Mm-hmm.
they all start blooming, it's a beautiful tree regardless.
Yes. The Uber guy, he was saying that he planted one and he said that he just bought his wife a, is it cherry blossom that grows at the White House?
It is.
Yeah,
You know what?
that's
It's funny it's funny you mention that because tomorrow is actually the National Cherry Blossom Festival in DC.
oh wow.
It is. I think it's still tomorrow. But yeah.
Those are so pretty.
And then you may encounter some these trees, they call them the Japanese snowballs.
Mm-hmm.
From a from a distance you're just looking at it and it's this big old tree with just these beautiful uh it looks like one big giant round flower or bloom, but then when you get right up on it, you see it's like a bunch of different flowers that make up this one like round uh bloom or bouquet or whatever the technical term is for it.
Right.
But yeah, it looks like a snowball, and all those things are starting to bloom around here.
That sounds cool.
I forget when they brought those over because it's not a native species. It was brought over um a long time ago. But there's I forget the exact story specifically right off, so I'm not even going to try to remember at this moment. But there's certain diplomatic and peace relations directly with parts of Japan and Augusta. They have different ties and connections throughout the years. But there was a portion of downtown on the Riverwalk that was dedicated um, to a Japanese artist, and they brought in over the years they brought in different trees and stuff like that from the region. Um, but they did well here. They grew well here. They took to the area. You know,
Yeah,
it was just the kind of right amount of balance. But yeah, it's pretty cool. Now you see them in a lot of other places. But yeah,
that's cool. Popcorn tree. Hmm.
I don't know. It could be. I don't know if it's the same as the popcorn tree. It could be. That could be a nickname of it. Uh, because yeah, it could be like a little popcorn because the piece inside is like a little yellow piece, you know, like in the middle.
Yeah.
So yeah, that could be a nickname of it for sure.
Oh, Wayne.
Or the dogwood trees. Do y'all have dogwood trees in Texas?
I don't think so. Um, I'm really horrible with trees. The one thing that grows wild there is mountain laurel, and it smells like bubble gum. It's got these huge purple blooms on it and smells like bubble gum.
Huh.
I really like those. I need to get some for
What does it look like? What color flower does it produce?
they're purple and
Purple.
yeah. And
I don't
then
know if that's the one I watched a video one time and the guy was talking about different things and he said this one of them it smelled like bubble gum or something like that. I don't remember if that was it or not.
yeah. Well, I think that one you just mentioned a while ago, the pear.
The Bradford pear.
It's got a, he said it's got a really good odor to it. I don't know.
Well, some that's one of the things that some people say they don't like it because some people said it doesn't really have an odor, and some people said it kind of has a natural odor, and then there's some people that swear that it just puts off a funky odor. You know, they don't like the smell of it when it goes into bloom. You know,
Huh.
heard that controversy in my area over the years. You know,
Yeah,
but I mean to view it. I mean, it's a beautiful tree when everything comes in bloom and everything, but you know, everything is not everybody's cup of tea.
that's true.
But the dogwood, it's an interesting tree, um, especially how it always seems to start blooming in and around Easter time. You know,
Hmm.
I think the biblical, I guess, tie that was put on it at some point. I don't know when that connection or affiliation was first made, but it's kind of interesting. I don't know if you ever seen the dogwood uh, bloom. It's got it's got I think it's the petals on the outside, the white petals, and then on the inside there's this little bit of red, and then there's this in the center. It's like this crown piece. It almost looks like thorns in a way. So they always said there was a connection some type of way with like the crucifixion in that time period. Um, there's some stories that say that, you know,
Yes. Seems like
and
I've
it is
heard
kind of
that.
interesting. I know timing and stuff, but it generally kind of comes in full bloom around Easter every year.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
I have heard that story too. That said that cross Christ was made of dogwood. You know,
that stop that. Okay.
on my grandma's property. That's all she's got down the driveway. Well, she's got a lot of different uh, on the property. Of course, they're no longer living, but on the property still, there's still a bunch of trees. But all the way down the driveway, it's just dogwood trees down the whole driveway.
Oh gosh. Oh,
That was
even
like
to
one of her
her.
favorite trees. And so many years ago, when they moved into the house or had the house built, like in the '60s, that's what she had planted all down the driveway.
Mm-hmm. Hmm. The only blooming trees that my mother or grandmother ever had was crepe myrtles. I don't know why.
Yeah. We had to do this job for this customer yesterday. It wasn't too major. Once we got into it and seen what all was entailed, it wasn't too bad. But we had to the guy, and I guess it was his wife that was there. I don't know. He never really introduced the lady. She was just there, and they were moving. So, but anyway, we had to disconnect some electrical stuff that he wanted to take with him. And you know, I didn't really want to say nothing, but I'm thinking in my mind, yeah, you might as well take it because that's a lot of this stuff was kind of outdated. Different things. If somebody was
Mm-hmm.
going to move in, it would definitely be things that they would probably upgrade at some point. But he said, yeah, the guy that's buying the property, he said he didn't want to buy it. So I said, the heck with it. I'm taking it with me to Florida. He said, I'm moving to Florida. He said, I'm officially retired. He said, I'm going to Florida. But man, I don't know. Of course, I don't know everybody's situation, but man, he had a really good piece of land in his whole huge backyard with just different plants, different trees, all different type of things. And the lady that was there, I don't know, I guess wife, girlfriend, whatever, she was I said, you do a lot of gardening? And he said, oh no. He said, everything you see back here is her idea. He said, that's what she's back there doing now, digging up some plants and certain things she's gonna take. Real nice swimming pool and everything. But he said that the people that's buying it, he said they're fixing to do away with all this and redo everything back here.
Oh no.
I said, dang. I said, you know,
Yeah.
I said, me personally, I said, if I was to move in here, I said, you got a really good starting pace, because you can kind of see where everything would kind of lay, you know. They've got fruit trees and stuff there. I mean, I don't know to what level the guys, whoever's getting the property is going to take it to, but if I was buying some property that had fruit trees, I would definitely keep them.
Yeah. Definitely.
But he said, yeah, I'm packing up and moving to Florida. He said, this is the last cold winter I'll ever have. He's talking about the snow apocalypse.
Oh,
Said, the heck with it.
but didn't it snow in Florida too?
I don't know. I don't know what part. I think he probably did tell us, but it wasn't like a area that was well known. Well, I don't. It may be well known, but I can't remember. It wasn't something that I'd regularly heard. I don't know. I think he said it was outside of the villas or outside of the villages in Florida, wherever that's at in Florida. B would probably know wherever the villages are.
Hmm.
Seemed like Florida would have a lot of villages, so I don't know. Maybe not. It's pretty specific, I guess. Okay, in the Panhandle.
Hmm. Oh, okay. She saw
Okay.
Florida's close.
Yeah, yeah. She knows about the Floridians. But yeah, he was a pretty interesting guy. Yeah, we had to disconnect. He had a bunch of solar panels and stuff on his garage. The company came out and I thought we were going to have to dismantle the solar panels. He was like, no. He was like, nope. Over there in the corner, they already done got it all stacked up. I just need y'all to take the power cord loose from the breaker box. Shoot, that wasn't nothing.
Oh,
That
wow.
disconnect a couple lines. That was it. I'm
Yeah.
thinking in my head, shoot, this dude's going to Florida. Ain't no way in heck he's finna tinker with all this stuff now.
I don't know. The more I see, thinking, my goodness, it's beautiful over here. That's what I was gonna say at that meat farm. It was hills. It was almost like home, but different. And the grass is so green, and the hills, just the ponds, it's like everyone has a stock tank. Well, that's what we call them.
Can't be telling everybody now they're going to want to come even more now. You know what I mean? They're coming. They're on the way as we speak.
Okay, it's not that great.
No, it's cool. Yes, there's definitely some beautiful places for sure.
It
I mean,
is.
regardless of everything that's happening or the spring breaks or whatever's happening on the news and stuff, I mean, it is a beautiful time, I guess, to be traveling throughout the South. You know, everything's
Mhm.
waking up, different things are blooming. You know,
You know, the one thing that I have noticed from East Texas all the way over, it looks the same on the highway. It is just lined with pine trees and straight.
well, yeah, we ain't lagging for pine trees. That's the ain't no doubt
Yes.
about that. Shoot, there's plenty of Georgia pines.
But if you go off the main highway, that's where you see just all the beauty. Well, that's the way it was even when I went to Kentucky. Kentucky was beautiful anyway. But going through Tennessee, we stayed on the main highway going to Tennessee. Coming back, we took a wrong turn, and that's when I saw how pretty Tennessee really is.
Oh yeah, it's a beautiful state as well. It definitely has its places for sure, no doubt. You know, Alabama ain't bad. It's got a little bit of everything. You know, it's even got a little piece of coastal area down there.
Yeah.
They're still mad about the Florida Panhandle, but you know, I think they've gotten over it by now.
What's the Guthrie case? Fill me in.
What's the what's the thing? What's it? What is it now? What's the question?
Guthrie case.
The Guthrie case.
Mm-hmm.
I have no
Mobile.
idea. I know there's something going on. I'm not familiar, so I couldn't give you any facts with that. But I've heard something about some uh, that could be an unenlivening event. I think that could be one of those cases. I'm not familiar with the details.
Mm-hmm.
No, I said Alabama. They're still mad about the Panhandle because you know how the Florida Panhandle uh, cuts over right below Alabama. You know, Alabama just has that little bit of tail that dips down to the coast. You know. Oh, Guthrie. Okay, that's the mother from Savannah. Okay, yeah. Of
Oh,
Savannah, the news anchor.
yes.
Okay, so what happened with that now? I haven't been tracking, but yeah, I haven't heard anything either.
Let's see what she's saying. She's B said that she was watching the Guthrie case.
Oh, okay, I got you. No, I haven't been following it as of lately. I just always it seemed to me it just seemed bizarre from the beginning. You know, I mean, I don't know. And then I think allegedly they had a couple people that was trying to pose as if they were part of it or trying to maybe get some type of ransom money on a scam or something. I think I remember hearing something about that allegedly. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so I think when that happened, it kind of threw the case a little bit more sideways. So I don't know where it's at currently.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to live in the desert.
No, I wouldn't. It wouldn't be my first choice. That's for sure.
No.
I would visit, but I wouldn't. I wouldn't make that my casa.
I don't even know if I'd visit.
Dang, dang, money. Pretty savage.
Well, if
How dare you
your
not visit the desert?
if your air conditioner goes out there, you're suddenly very, very hot.
Oh yeah. Shoot. Oh yeah, imagine.
Yeah.
Oh, don't get me wrong now. There's days in the summer that I definitely appreciate it, you know? I hadn't
Yeah.
had to use it yet. So hopefully we'll keep that streak going. I haven't had to use the heater or the air conditioner, either one.
Wow. That's good.
I mean, even when it got down to 30s, it was still like in the 60 something inside. So I mean, that's not, I think it was like 60, it's like 65 to 67 in there. So
Hmm. Yeah. That is a weird deal. So the mother
yeah.
is from Savannah, Georgia, or
No, I probably misspoke that. I think the lady that went missing, I think her name is Savannah.
oh, okay.
And I can't even remember exactly which state she went missing from. Maybe it was Arizona. I don't know. Um, I believe it was Arizona. I can't remember the specific city, but I'm pretty confident it was Arizona. Maybe not. Beef
I
fact
don't know.
checking me. I like when
I
beef
don't,
fact checks me because there's some things I just don't know.
I don't know why she said that. Yelled no.
Oh, it's encouraged here. You can yell a little bit. You just got to warn people before you get, if they got headphones on. But other than that, go ahead.
Right. Out of Arizona. Her daughter is a TV host, Savannah. Okay. Thank you, dear. I know
Oh
I've
man,
seen
yeah, I
it
had it
all.
all messed up. See, that's why I said allegedly. I created an entirely new case. Man, okay. Yeah, well, we got the facts.
But how is there a case already? Did they find her?
Well, I mean, like a missing persons case, or like
Oh, okay.
at a
It's an
certain. I mean,
investigation.
at a certain point, you don't want to have that mindset, as a victim or somebody that's like grieving. But at some point, uh, it starts to shift from maybe uh, now you're just trying to recover. Whenever it
Hmm.
goes from like a missing person to like a recovery, or at some point, I don't know, after so many hours or so many days, I don't know.
Yeah. As
Um,
long as this has been, I'm sure that it,
and and not trying to be any type of way, but I mean, she was an older woman. I don't know what health problems she may or may not have had, what medications she may or may not have depended on. You know,
yeah.
um, I don't know. I don't really know I don't even think they've even found her or anything. I don't know. It's like she just vanished in thin air from what little bit I've read on it.
I thought someone was asking for a ransom at one time.
I don't know. I don't know how it went. I know allegedly there was some type of people that was supposed to be or thought to be connected with it, and it just turned out to be like a scam, or people just whatever. And I don't know if it was them calling in saying that they had information and or the mother and then wanting ransom, or um the FBI or the newscaster was released like a reward, and they were trying to cash in on the reward and gave faulty information. I don't know how it went exactly. Um,
Mm.
so I don't want to misspeak on that, but I think I did hear where there was a couple cases where they thought they had a lead or thought they had somebody on something like that as far as ransom or something, but I don't know what came of it.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. 2 times, but it just got the guy arrested for scamming. Yeah, somebody just trying to cash in on the sensation of the event, thought they could make a few bucks in the process.
I said I could fall asleep to his voice.
You could fall asleep to Watts' voice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
Wayne, good to
Georgia
see you, my
Friday.
friend. I hope all is well. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what type of evidence they have. I know there was the Ring camera or some type of doorbell camera involvement at some point. Of allegedly having somebody on masked. So of course, in today's age, with everybody having them type of cameras and stuff, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't see
Well,
you taking an elderly woman out of the house, in her own free will. And even if it wasn't in her own free will, it has to be seen. You know,
yeah.
I don't know.
Mm.
It's crazy the amount of homes that we work on that have those type of things. The Ring doorbell or whatever brand, or the flood cameras. So
Yeah.
of course, it
Most,
can be used for nefarious purposes. But if something happens in the neighborhood, all those cameras, the odds of none of them capturing anything is slim to none.
right. I think every B&B that we've seen has, they say outdoor security cameras. So I haven't really looked to see where they are or what they even look like.
What's that?
The outdoor security cameras. I guess it'd be like Ring cameras. I don't know.
They wouldn't. Well, even if you hadn't really seen one exactly to see it in person, they're pretty easy to spot, especially like the doorbells. Um, a lot of them, well, some of them, when you walk past them or walk like up on the porch, it looks like a little tiny like black remote or whatever. It's right there in place of the doorbell, and some of them may whistle or say, hello or something, however they have it programmed. Um, but the cameras, they're a little bit different. A lot of them, they're just built into like floodlights. The floodlights you have on your homes, like the little 1 light or 2 light floodlights you have on the corner. They
Mm.
have those. They have those that you. All we do is just wire it up, and then you go out there with your device and hook it up to the Wi-Fi, and it does the same thing as your doorbell camera.
Well, that's cool. I know. My
Yeah,
daughter's got some kind of camera inside the house. It's crazy what goes on inside the house in the middle of the night. Mm.
oh yeah, yeah. I could see that for certain purposes, or little ones or something like that. If you had children.
Yeah. I think we got Mama to put it in um, when we were worrying
Yeah,
about her falling or.
yeah. They definitely have jammers to stop it. I've seen videos on that. It was crazy.
To stop the cameras.
Yeah, pretty much. would allegedly pretty much neutralize anything uh, within that residence. For how long or to what degree, I don't know. But yeah, I have seen videos where there's been cases. I know it's happened in a lot of places, but I seen one. It was these people that were targeting, I guess, whatever, like some of the higher end neighborhoods or whatever in and around the Detroit suburbs. And allegedly, they were using tools like that, little jammers that would jam like the security cameras or any type of like security system they may or may not have had. Maybe cell phone usage, allegedly. You couldn't call in or out. You
Mm.
know, you think about a house nowadays, if you don't have any hard lines and all you have is just your cell phones, it's convenient when it's convenient, but hopefully nothing like that ever happens. But you know,
Yeah.
as technology advances, the people that seek to do the various things, they figure out how to do the technologies in reverse.
Yeah. Cheryl, I know what you're trying to do.
I think it was only digital. I'm not 100% sure on what all it would affect in total, and I don't know like to how long. Is it just like as long as this device is on or is in this vicinity, then it no longer works, or is it once the devices have been interfered with or impacted, then they no longer can work? Now that I don't know, but
Oh. Huh.
somebody done got some high end Timu technologies. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
State of the art on the Timu. You can buy one of everything. You can buy a motorcycle with a sidecar. I saw on there the other day for $1.50 plus shipping and handling. That's where they get you. It's like $300 shipping and handling.
Golly.
Oh man. Yeah, choke, clothes, yeah.
We
Yeah, we
carried
definitely
on.
went into some homes and it's like, man, yeah. Like, yeah, you think we got enough cameras? And I'm thinking, oh yeah, I mean you're literally covered from you just created new angles for the cameras to capture that weren't even possible, you know what I mean? So yeah. I mean, you
Mhm.
can catch everybody from ground level to Santa Claus coming down your chimney if you want to. You've got the full 360. Mm.
Yeah, Mama's. You'll see lights flashing and some kind of movement. Can't figure out what the movement is, but something. Excuse me. I'm just glad it's down there, not at my house.
Was it an outside light or inside light?
It's the inside cameras.
Oh, it's the time, B. 11:11.
Yep.
It's a beautiful time to be alive, wouldn't you say? Shoot, yeah. Yeah, it's supposed to be nice weather here Saturday. I'm glad. Got a couple outdoor events I'm gonna check out. And then I don't know. I find it kind of interesting, I guess, because I guess it's one of the things you probably wouldn't see that much. But remember the movie Smokey and the Bandit?
Yes.
But it got some type of I don't know exactly who's putting it on or who all's going to be there. I ain't looked into full detail, but it's like a whole weekend event of different things like related to like Smokey and the Bandit and like barbecue and like a concert. But at some point they're going to have a full on uh Smokey and the Bandit police chase reenactment.
Oh my goodness.
That's going to be pretty cool. I don't know how long that's going to last or what all they're going to do in that, but so I might have to go check that out. That's not this weekend. I think that's still a whiles away. I think that's like the first weekend in May.
Oh,
I don't even know who's putting it on. It seems like a pretty big production to do all that.
I wonder if it's the anniversary of when the movie was made.
It could be. A lot of times they do those type of festivals, events, or stuff to kind of capitalize on the hype about it. An anniversary or something.
Hmm.
Give me a Diablo sandwich and a Dr. Pepper. I'm in hot pursuit. Yeah. I think at some point they're supposed to I think they're supposed to have a car show or something there. Different cars, reenactment cars from that movie, different other cars, I guess, from that period. I don't know.
So it'd be a 50-year this year.
What's that?
If it was 1976.
1976, I'm thinking.
It'd be 50 years old now.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think that's how that works. But that makes sense. Whatever a 50th anniversary is, I don't know. What is that? Is that a golden anniversary? What is that? I don't know.
I think so.
It's half a
One
century
time.
ago. Man, that's crazy, huh?
I know. Man, I'm feeling old.
Back in the 1900s.
I heard that Chuck Norris was rushed to the hospital for some reason. I don't know
It was
if
just his birthday the other day. I think this week was his birthday.
that always seems to be the case, right around the birthday. My mother always told me, don't ever have a surgery done on your birthday or 2 weeks after or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know the specs behind it, but yeah, if I had to plan it, I wouldn't try to plan it during that time neither. If anything after, definitely not before. You know what I mean? We're gonna have the birthday. You ain't canceling that. But damn. Yeah, I would look it up, but of course it'd probably kick me to Tybee Island. But yeah, I think it was just his birthday this week or the over the weekend. However old he turned, I don't know. He's probably older than I imagine now.
Yeah.
Damn, Chuck Norris, man, he's whooped up on everything from shoot, walk from Texas Rangers to the Bruce Lees to the heck. I think he even beat up a bear one time, man. Dang, man, Chuck Norris. You know, they thought for a long time that's how earthquakes was being formed from Chuck Norris, because when he does push-ups, he doesn't push away from the earth. The earth pushes away from Chuck Norris. Mm,
He is kind of
86
a
by now,
legend.
maybe 90. Yeah, he's got to be late 80s.
I think I looked. Maybe he did just have a birthday because I remember looking to see how old it. Well, because he still seems like he can kick butt, but
Well, he's been around, shoot, for decades.
excuse me.
Good to see you. Only hope is in prayer. I hope all is well. Yeah, he did all the different martial arts competitions way back in the day. Then he started doing the movies, and
Hmm.
he did the Walker Texas Ranger TV show for however many years that went on.
A
And then,
lot.
heck, I think he even was on the selling some type of workout equipment or something at one time.
That's that's what I see him doing is some kind of a, I don't know if it's exercise or if it's like a protein vitamins something. I don't know. I can't remember what it was that I saw him advertising
Mm, yeah,
about.
I
Whatever
don't
it
know
is,
his condition now, but I mean, it seems like for the most part of his life, he's lived a pretty active lifestyle.
yeah, seems like whatever it is he was saying, it's what keeps him and his wife young.
Yeah, yeah, however many years they've been together.
Yeah.
Since the 80s or the 90s, whenever. That's like we got this guy that builds homes and we wire him up, and he's kind of like, it's just a small operation. It's just him, his dad, and they got a few like permanent employees, and then some things get subbed out, like uh certain plumbing and like of course electrical because we do the electrical, but
Hmm.
we got to go down there and put all the devices and stuff in one of those houses next week. But we was wiring up the house, and his dad still does everything. He still gets on the tractor. He still grades out everything. He does stuff inside the house. And then he said, my coworker was like, man, it's about time for him just to retire. He said, shoot, he can't retire. But then, if you think about it, certain people like that, that's just kind of what keeps them going. They don't really have to. They probably could have
Yeah.
stepped down a long time ago.
Yeah.
But who would have did it? Who would have did it their way, or who would have done it the right way, or, you know, just keeps them going. And heck, I
True.
think him and his wife, both of them, to shoot, they're in there. They got to be in their late 80s, no doubt. Because their son, shoot, he's in his probably mid to late 50s, maybe.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it
I
does all
mean,
that.
a lot of people when they retire, they go nuts.
Oh, I
If
bet,
it is,
yeah.
well,
You're just used
that's,
to that routine and that system for so many years.
yep. You got to keep moving or you lose it. They say,
If you don't use it, you lose it, they say.
yeah.
But I guess a good thing in his situation, they work for themselves, so. But yeah, he probably could have hung it up, shoot, 20 years ago. But yeah, he would have probably went insane. Guess I'll just keep working till I get enough saved up or win the lottery or get me a clone, I guess, Bunny. Yeah, just send our clone to work.
There you go.
They just get paid in fresh batteries.
I don't know. I don't think I'd clone me.
Nah, I couldn't handle it. I'd probably forget which one was the clone at some point, you know? Start questioning my own sanity or what I thought I had of it.
Yeah, that's gone. No. Yeah, there were a couple of headlines that kept. I don't. I don't know what feature it is on my phone, but when I open it, it's a news headline, and I can't get to anything else until I get rid of it or read it, or most of the time it's something interesting that I gotta read. Then I wish I hadn't, but so many things going on right now.
Oh, yeah. Man, there's events and stuff happening all over the place, yeah.
Yeah. Did you hear about the boy in Barcelona?
Barcelona, Spain?
Yes.
No, I don't think I've heard that news flash. What happened?
Excuse me. I don't know if he drowned or if it was helped, but um, he was there for spring break. And
Mm.
yeah,
Yeah, definitely don't go somewhere on spring break you're unfamiliar around water and not know how to swim, you know? Even knowing how to swim, not really knowing the situation, but even knowing how to swim isn't going to help you in certain situations. But you know,
yes.
if it's preventable, it definitely helps.
Excuse me.
Mm. I'm pretty sure there's stuff happening in and around my area. I just hadn't been tracking it much, you know.
Yeah, I don't know. Today we did hear some sirens going flying by, but no idea what it was for.
You know about what time it was? Do you remember?
It seems like it was around noon.
Could be a lunchtime whistle. Some towns and some places like that still have them.
Yeah, that's true.
Sometimes they go off like at a certain time. Sometimes they do it every day at 12, regardless. Shoot, I know there was this old plant in Carolina that closed years ago. And I don't know. For the longest time after it closed, still that old siren or whistle would go off around 12 o'clock lunchtime every day, even after it closed. It was kind of eerie.
Hmm. The town that I was in when I sold my house, they had um, one of those 12 o'clock whistles.
Yep. Or even the bells, you know. I mean, I know a lot of places may not have the bells no more. Even some places around here still have the hourly and half-hour bells, you know.
That's great.
It's not as many as it once was, but there's still a few left.
Excuse me.
Shoot, yeah. Ready for Saturday to get here. I tried to look up an official vendor list, but I could never find nothing officially. But I've seen some people, some vendors that I've followed over the years, I've seen some of them post and said that they'll be there. So I know the general idea. I know it's going to be packed for sure.
Virginia.
See, I kind of figured this is about the Virginia time because I was just thinking about, man, I can't wait to see the bread lady. Well, there's several down there, but there's one, man. I've got stuff from her over the years, and man, she makes a really good different uh, sourdough breads and stuff like that. You know,
Yeah.
man, it's good. You got to catch her early. She'll sell out quick. It don't matter how much she brings. She can't never bring enough.
Mm. There, um, I just got a recipe for a sourdough bread and use a starter. Keep adding to it until it gets to a certain point, and then it's ready to make bread. But apparently, you can carry that starter around for a while.
Yeah, yeah. Once you get it going and get it, yeah, you take a little bit from it, add a little bit to it. Yeah.
Hmm.
I mean, and over time, I mean, it just develops and ages and creates its own little taste and flavor. You know.
Yep.
Yeah, I can't wait, man. I know there's gonna be some good stuff to eat there.
Today's Thursday. One more day.
Oh, tomorrow's Friday. It'll go by. It'll go by smooth. It's pretty much planned out as far as work wise. Hmm.
Oh, wow.
100-year-old starter in Alaska. How about that?
Yeah. I guess it does last a long time.
Yeah, as long as you just keep it active. I don't know the time frame and specifications on stuff like that, but yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, yeah. You get a little bit out, add it to it, keep feeding it. Hey, I think I almost made myself hungry again.
Well, that's why I got it, because I thought it was the yeast that causes the gluten, but my daughter said it's the flour.
Yeah, that whole combination and everything. Yeah, you got, of course, different recipes or whatever the ultimate end result you're looking for. I mean, nowadays there's a recipe for it. Oh, I could
Uh,
definitely believe that, Virginia. Yeah, you know, at that point, regardless of what belongings you had to eat. So, yeah,
oh, that's right. You can lay it out on a pan and dry it and then powder, turn it into a powder. And then all you would do is add water and
hmm
flour, maybe.
sorry, Wayne. Just look at it as like an extended fast. You know. Be surprised what all the body does to repair and fix itself.
Mm.
It's alive. Shoot you. I got to check out the bread lady, the cake lady, all the food people. Got to find the lemonade stands.
Yep.
Try to get there early enough before the beat the first rush. See if anybody wants to talk about it. You know?
Yeah. When my daughter went to a tamale stand, she was kind of disappointed that they didn't have any lemonade.
I get disappointed too when they don't have the lemonades.
Mm-hmm.
You know, at that point, all you can hope is it's a good tamale or a good taco. You know, there's got to be a good compensation ratio. Jerry, I don't know if I spoke to you, but good evening. Good to see you. Oh yeah, there'll probably be about five or six different people at least with different types of lemonades.
Mm-hmm.
There's this one little group that always sets up, and I always look for them first. You know, I always know they got a good product, but it's all good stuff.
I came from sweet tea territory.
Allegedly, you know, you're getting into some territories, yeah. Getting into
Sweet
sweet
tea
tea and
and
cornbread territory, bunny.
homemade lemonade. Now, my daughter did say she might consider trying grits the way y'all eat them.
So you mean the proper way? Well, at this point, far enough in the southeastern corridor that you go in any place that's selling grits and they'll hook you up. You know what I mean? You just tell them if you want butter or cheese.
And see, she's had the Louisiana Creole grits, but I told her, I said, no, they make it sound like you can just put salt and pepper on it and eat it.
Yeah, different. Any little region, they have their own little spin on it. You know, like you can mix it up. A lot of people that do the shrimp and grits now, something like that. You know, you can make it a whole meal instead of just like allegedly a breakfast side item. You know, you can make it into a whole meal with something.
Mhm. And another thing that I found interesting is I haven't heard any real heavy accents. It's kind of weird.
Let's see here. We got a new guest here. Let's welcome our new guest.
Yay.
Hey, how's you guys doing?
What's going on, brother? How you doing?
Not too bad, not too bad. Just seeing you were live.
You know, I didn't remember you at first when you came into the last time, but I went back and looked up your channel and I was like, yeah, I don't remember how we interacted or I seen you originally in the YouTube streets, but yeah, I remember. I know who you are now.
All right, nice, nice. Yeah, your voice sounds familiar to me, so I feel like we've probably interacted on some panel somewhere.
Could be. Could be.
So what are you guys up to today?
Just talking about everything and nothing at the same time. Nothing too hot and heavy, you know.
Okay,
Just a
nice,
general what's up, what's happening.
nice. Just chilling out.
Yes, sir.
So
Going
what
on.
do you usually cover? Like, is there like a specific thing you ever cover, or
No,
kind of just
nothing
chill
really
out?
specific. You know, the conversation can literally go anywhere, you know. I guess I'm new to the YouTube streets as far as like panel versing or like broadcasting, whatever you want to title this MySpace 2.0 interaction, but
Okay.
just it could go anywhere, you know. I've seen your content. I know most of your content and your episodes is pretty specific debates and stuff like that, which
Oh yeah,
I do
yeah, we
find
do a lot
interesting.
of debates.
I guess there can be times where, any certain topic can turn into a minor debate, but for the most part, we don't get too hot and too heavy.
I feel that.
Yep.
I feel that. Yeah, that's what because that's how I got into debating, is because like that's what me and my boys just sitting around, we used to end up debating, right? Because anytime you're having like some type of conversation and like you have a
If one of the
disagreement.
moderators could find Speakeasy's channel and drop his link, I'd appreciate that.
Oh, I appreciate that, man. Appreciate that big time. But yeah, it's anytime you're having a discussion, right? If you have a disagreement and you guys like present why you disagree, it's kind of a debate at that point, right?
Yes.
Oh yeah,
Speaking,
most definitely.
can you put a comment in chat so that I can
Oh yeah.
post it? Thank you so much.
Yeah, even at the micro level, I guess some conversations really could be ultimately be a debate, if nothing else.
For sure. For
Oh.
sure. And Bonnie, you stream, right? I think you said last time when I
Yeah.
was in the chat there.
Yes, and it can get a little heated over there online.
Okay.
What keeps it pretty calm here, but I'm I guess you could say a button pusher. I don't know. It's I ask a lot of questions, and
That's fair. Some people don't like questions. I get it.
yeah, they don't like questions if especially if it could lead to a different point of view.
Yep. I'm the same way though. I like I do enjoy the debating for sure, and for me it's because like obviously some, especially certain topics, they get like contentious, so people will get loud with each other and whatnot. But like for me, it's never like a personal thing, right? I don't like ever hate someone because of their worldview or because they disagree with me, right? And I think that's a lot of problem people get. They get like personal about it and then just kind of goes nowhere.
Oh, definitely. I agree with that. I think a lot of it can just be imagined disagreements. Sometimes people can have the same views, they're just speaking it or presenting it a different way.
Yeah, that happens too. People talk past each other all the time.
Yeah. And you just sit back and listen, and observe the whole picture. And eventually, sometimes, they ultimately come to the same conclusion, or they can just agree to disagree.
Yeah.
Oh, true. But there's a lot of things I disagree with these days. Unfortunately.
Yeah. That you know I don't see a reason you have to agree with anything, right? Like if it's not for me, if it's not the truth, I'm not gonna agree with it, right? That's a big thing. But like there's also I think a lot of people make up their minds before they've even thought out their worldview, right? That happens
Yeah.
a lot.
Oh,
Well,
definitely.
and a lot of it is uh, never mind. I won't get into it here.
No, get it. Say whatever's on your mind.
Yeah, I won't be offended.
No, I didn't want to do that to Watt. I just see a lot of contradictory things right now. I see the opposites of what we were told would be. And just a lot of warring, and even with friends, like that you wouldn't expect. I don't know, just a lot of weird things going on.
You mean like politically?
all the way around, but most of it is based on political views. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Politics is a pretty divisive topic, even amongst friends and family members. It's actually one of
Yeah.
the biggest listed thing for reasons of family infighting is because of the difference in politics.
Politics and religion. Yes.
Yep.
How much do you think? I know it's probably you deal with a wide range of different people, different views, different debates. But how much would you say like uh, political views or like religious things? Of course, that's pretty. People tend to lean a particular way with that, no matter what it is. But do you think that that kind of affects or plays a bigger part in people's decision making or thought process and other things?
Oh, 100%. I think it's a big part of people's decision making, right? Because like for instance, like something like I'm heavily against it's is abortion, right?
Hmm.
And if you don't believe that it's a human life, it's going to affect your decision of if you're going to get it or not, right? So like your worldview is going to affect that decision big. Because I don't believe that there's millions of women that believe they're actually like taking away a human life. They refer it to they that's why this like coded language comes up all the time. Fetus, clump of cells, stuff like this. If you can convince them of that, right, then they're gonna make the decision. Oh, it doesn't matter if I do it or not, right? So
Right.
like your worldview is gonna be heavily influencing your decision making. Yeah.
Yeah, especially nowadays more than ever when everything's just so in your face. That constant different news flash, a different scroll left, a scroll right. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
I think there was
Yeah.
a quote that somebody said, "If you can make them believe absurdities, then you can make them commit atrocities."
Yep. 100%.
That that's true at any time period, I guess. Recorded history, whatever you want to call this, but I guess any time when somebody's living, I guess they could have said that at their point, but now it seems like it could be true more than ever, I guess.
Oh yeah, it's definitely we've seen it repeated over and over. Actually, that's
Hmm.
why I brought up was abortion, like because like I've had this conversation and I broke it down on my stream for people many times that like I think that is the core of all the moral degeneracy that we see growing heavier and heavier where people just have no care about anyone but themselves anymore because like we're convincing people that a certain life doesn't matter. So like if you can convince people that oh if you're in the womb your life doesn't matter, where how far can you go with that?
Yeah,
Right? So like this is the core I think of all the moral degeneracy we have going on is because we've convinced so many people that yeah it's no big deal to do that. It's not a human. It's
it's
a
just the
medical.
devalue of life all the way around, the
Mhm.
devalue of life, appreciation of life.
Yeah. That's why you're seeing more like younger people, pew pewing up other people so easily without even remorse or even thoughts of it because they've been numbed to it over time.
Deep
Gotcha.
into time. Yes. Absolutely.
How old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
33.
33. Okay, you're younger
I'll
than
be
me. I'm 30.
34 next month.
Okay, I'm 37. I'll be 38 in June.
Okay, nice, nice.
Yeah, no, it's definitely good to see. I guess I guess a younger generation. We made it to that part where we could say a younger generation. But talking about certain things, doing certain things. Even if we may not specifically agree with it, align with it, or whatever way. A platform, acknowledge that it exists. Because to have that opinion, that viewpoint, that reality means that I get to have mine as well, you know, whatever it may be.
That's what's up. I mean, until YouTube doesn't want us to have it, right?
Oh, yeah, but we're still going to have it. That's just who we are, you know. We're
Well,
made
yeah,
for this
yeah.
moment, whatever it may be.
I was just saying that was a big there was a conversation that happened not long ago on one of my streams, was like how YouTube, because like they were saying like YouTube shouldn't like be biased with who they ban and stuff like that. But for me, I think all companies should be allowed to have any rules for their stores. So like I would even take away like the the idea that like people aren't allowed to say no blacks or no whites. I want those businesses to go up and do that so they can fail and be in the ditch where they deserve. Right? Like I like being able to see who the poison is so I can stay away from it. You know what I mean? Like I
Yeah,
don't want them running around like a poison gas that is in the air you can't see or smell. I like them being loud so we can stay away from those people, you know?
I know
So
that's
I
right.
don't think any private business should be told what they can do, right? Like I think if a black owner owns a store and he wants to put no whites allowed on his store or vice versa, go ahead. Sure. I don't know how good your business will go. But
Yeah,
go ahead,
yeah,
bro. Like I think it should be fine because then who cares? Right? Like this is I think this idea of like we have to like protect people from seeing or hearing the shitty people, that's a bad idea because then you don't realize that they're right next to you.
yeah, that's true. Yeah. Yeah, get everybody has an opportunity of voice, say what you want. Whether you're going
Mm-hmm.
to succeed or fail, at least it was presented. If nothing
Yep.
else, you may know where or where not you want to spend your money, you know?
100%. Yeah, because I'm not gonna go to a store that says no blacks allowed. So like,
Yeah.
they're not getting my money.
You know, it may be somebody's cup of tea. It might not just
Right.
be ours.
That's what I mean. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. So like whatever. Like I think that we should let them do it so that I think they're gonna fail hard.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I agree. Different corporations and stuff, they definitely have their standards. I think it just gets tricky or slippery when there's supposed to be a standard, but it can be biased, you know. Not naming names or anything, but we see it, you know, we spend our time on YouTubes or different social medias, you know, about different topics, you know. I'm
Hmm.
pretty sure your channel pushes the envelope on certain debates or certain things sometimes, you know.
Oh, 100%.
I don't even know what I can and can't say, you know. I probably already said some of the things. I just ain't checked my emails yet. Who knows?
It's always switching, man. It's always switching. I'm always getting some new email that says, "Oh, updated terms of service" or "updated this." And it's like, yeah,
You're gonna hurt somebody's feelings no
yeah,
matter what you do, you know.
exactly. That's it.
If if you don't read the newspaper, you're uninformed. If you read the newspaper, you're misinformed. So no matter what, you just got to do you. Somebody's gonna get their feelings hurt regardless.
Yeah, yeah. That's a good point. Actually, that's a good point. If you read it, you're misinformed. If you don't read it, you're uninformed. Yeah, it makes
Yeah.
sense.
Either way, you know. What do you want
Yeah,
me to do here?
that's usually how it goes.
It's one less Christmas card I gotta send.
Yep, that's it. So where would you guys consider yourselves like politically if you were to like leaning one way or the other? Or
Bonnie,
you
you
don't
still
really?
with us? She's out and about on a trip, so she might have had to step away. But
Oh,
me,
okay.
I'm more, I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't really like specific titles or specific boxes, but I mean, I'm more like independent, kind of neutral in a way. You know, I kind of step back and kind of see what both parties do, what everybody's kind of saying. You know, of course, I can't
Okay.
see and hear everything, but from my perspective and reality, I try to stay neutral for the most part, independent, I guess, whatever that term may be.
Yeah, yeah. Like I would say that would mean like you'd be center, and then whatever like political side you tend to agree more with, it'd probably be you're leaning towards that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It would depend on which topic too, because I'm kind of the same way. And it's more, I'm seeing our government as a whole has changed well, no, I wouldn't say changed. Maybe they just show themselves more now as to what they are.
Like, what do you mean? Like the system itself or the people within the system?
All of it.
All of it. It's all bad.
Well, I mean, it's all connected. The system is the way it is because of the people of the government, right?
In a sense, right? I'd say it's heavily based off like the Constitution, right? And obviously these things, it's a living document and it has to be interpreted. But
That's the way it's
yeah, I
supposed
can
to
see
be.
what you're saying though. There is a lot of corruption within the politics. Yeah.
Yes. And it's supposed to be based off the Constitution, but they're kind of wiping the books with it. They're
In
not.
in what
It
sense? It would
depends.
depend. I agree probably on some senses.
Yes. And it depends on whether it benefits them. If the judges are trying to pass something, well, constitutionally, this is what the way it is. But if it's something else, it it took so many years for them to even mention the Constitution. I haven't heard them mention it in a long time.
Do you mean like the Trump administration? Is that what you're saying?
Just government, period. The justices, the the whole three branches, and then um, to actually live by it, they're not doing that because the Constitution gives the people the power. We were never supposed to hand the power over to the government, and it has definitely reversed.
I could see. It would depend what power you mean. I think a lot of people get that kind of misconstrued because like we can only hold society together with force, right? So like the centralized government having the monopoly on force to make sure everybody's following the laws. We need that, right? Or else we can't really have a society.
Absolutely, we have to have law and order, but I believe that they have overstepped.
Yeah, I'd agree. There's some places that they've overstepped and shouldn't be involved in for sure. Like I would take um the like the federal school fundings. I would take that out, right? Like we America did just fine, actually better before that all was implemented. They were leading economically, technologically, by IQ. We were leading in everything, and then we decided to allow these programs that they tell the schools you have to teach this, this, and that for you to get any money. So now they start teaching kids things that a lot of parents disagree with them teaching kids. So then it becomes a big mess, and it's not focused on creating a future for these kids. It's creating a factory worker for the future of the factories.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was one of those. I don't know who it was. One of those great industrial revolutionists. He said during the time. He said, "I don't want." He said, "I don't want thinkers. I want workers. I want people to do." I forget what that was during that time, but just kind of one of those speeches and stuff that came out during the alleged Industrial Revolution. We think about it. I mean, how far off are we from really that time? Different things, different things being put into place with the internet, AI, and stuff. None of this stuff is really new. It's just being implemented and rolled out when it can, when it's supposed to. But it's definitely along that same lines.
Yeah, you're 100% correct, and it's this is what happened. This is that quote was if I'm not mistaken, attributed to John D. Rockefeller.
I could believe it. Yeah, yeah,
So
you're all
of
right.
course he doesn't want a nation of thinkers. Like, of course he wants a
Yeah,
bunch of workers that are gonna make him more money.
it's less of the pie the Rockefellers can get.
Hmm.
I mean,
Yeah,
even now, just think about everything that we outsource, anything that we get like that, as far as media or anything. It's only like a handful of corporations that monopolize and control any of that. So, of course, anything we get is going to be limited. We always have to dig a little bit deeper.
100%. This is why I like the the idea of homeschooling and like the traditional nuclear family. This is what built everything we love today, right? And they've done everything they can to like incentivize everything but that, right? You want to get a divorce? Yeah, no problem. We got plenty of programs. We'll help
Yeah,
you.
same day.
Yeah, like like no problem. We're not gonna help you stay together though. You guys want to stay together? Go pay for your own stuff.
Yeah,
It's just like they've done everything to incentivize people being divisive, and like
Yeah.
same thing with black versus white. They want to portray something that's not actually happening. And this is why a lot of people are looking at this and like, oh yeah, it's us versus them. No, it's we're all
yeah,
one country, guys. Yeah, there's other
yeah,
countries that's them. This is all us. What are we doing?
right.
Like,
Sometimes it's just hard for some individuals, just to step back and kind of see the bigger picture. You know,
100%.
Emotions and events and stuff that's happened in our past may trigger certain things. We all feel a certain way about a certain topic. Some things, no matter what you may say or I may say, it's not going to change either one of our minds. We're passionate about certain things.
100%.
Hmm.
My
Yeah.
biggest thing is I like I said I believe like I have like a 100% certainty in it that if we were to completely get rid of abortion, you would see a lot of other things start falling into line. But
Yeah,
this is a trick that's been pulled over so many people's eyes for so long that it's a hard thing to actually like make people realize what's going on. But like honestly, that's my biggest that's my goal before I leave this planet is I want to see this country be completely abolished of abortion. That'll make me have more faith in humanity and the planet that I leave behind for my kids to live on, you know what I mean?
So that's your biggest passion is abortion? Not
Yeah,
that
that'd
it's a
probably
bad
be
one.
that'd be the one I feel the strongest about 100%.
Okay. And I can understand that. And I'm totally for homeschooling and
Based.
totally for homesteading and being as self-sufficient as we possibly can.
Yep,
definitely.
I like that idea too. I do agree when you look at the idea of like government doesn't want to let you sustain yourself with electricity. You can only grow a certain amount of food if you're in the city. You can't keep chickens. It's like they have so many rules that like stop you from being able to like save your wealth
Totally
and
good.
feed yourself.
Oh,
Yes,
definitely.
exactly. The more, and so that's all the new laws that they keep pushing every year. They make up all these new laws that seem to be more about control than protecting people or, you know, I really don't think we need that many laws. The whole thing in a nutshell is do unto others as you would have them do unto you. And then just cause no harm to others. That's
Oh yeah, of course. That's how we should. That's how we ought to live, especially like under my worldview. Like I go by Christian ethics, and I believe that's how we ought to be. But the
Mhm.
problem is, there's a lot of different individuals, and God loves us, so He gave us free will, and
Exactly.
there's going to be a lot of people that use that free will to do really evil things. So like I think we need these laws in place to make sure there's not people in society doing these things, you know what I mean?
So, but okay. So then one of those people get caught. So do you think that they are treated? It kind of looks like the good people are the criminals and the bad people are let off. And what I mean is, it seems like it's all you're a criminal until you're proven innocent.
Yeah, I'll agree with this too. There's a lot of cases. I would say that's more a fault on like these individual, either these individual counties, the law enforcement in these counties, or the individual officers. Like I agree with that. That happens a lot. You do see that a lot, where it seems like somebody's treated like a criminal before they're convicted.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, like I a lot of people didn't like when I brought this up. I said the same thing about Tyler Robinson in the Charlie Kirk case, because like we've all treated him like a criminal, but no, we don't actually know any of the facts, and we're finding out there's things that were lied about the facts. So like, why are we treating this dude like he's convicted before he's convicted? So I agree with you, that does happen for sure.
Yeah.
But I still wouldn't. I wouldn't say that that's like a good reason to get rid of like the law or detainment and stuff like that, because like police have to deal with so many different individuals, like just on a traffic stop, right? Like imagine like how many police officers go to a traffic stop, think that's a normal thing, and then they ended up getting pewed in their face, right? Like it sucks.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I can understand that. But at the same time, they volunteer for that position just like our military, and they know the consequences that can happen sometimes. I'm not discrediting it. I'm not saying it's a minor thing. I'm just saying that's part of the job. But there's there's things that I feel are taken way too far. Okay, Texas. It's illegal to do marijuana. Okay. A lot of states can. A a lot of people believe that it's beneficial in a lot of ways, with pain, with seizures, with PTSD,
Oh, like
things like
medicinally.
that. Yes.
Yeah.
Or, so the argument is it's a drug, and it can alter people's thinking or reactions or whatever. But at the same time, I would really like to know the statistics of these states that it is legal. Like, what are the numbers between drunk drivers and stone drivers, you know, incidences, whether it's an accident or whatever. And then the officers will get really upset if, well, you just, if your tag's expired on your car, you get a ticket. But I remember back in the day, that's all you got. You got a ticket. And you paid it, and big deal. Now I'm seeing a lot of arrests if you have expired tags. It seems like, and it's not even just that, it's all the way across the board. Everything just seems so extreme now. I think that's the problem.
Okay, I get what you're saying here. The thing, so with the weed, so this is like, for me, it's like a lot of people get confused about my stance on this because like I smoke, and I still think it should be not necessarily illegal. I think it should be decriminalized, and it, like, so if you're caught out in public smoking it, I think it should be confiscated. And they tell you to, go for a walk. I think this should be what's happening, right? Like where we decriminalize it. I don't think making it legal and selling it in stores recreationally is a good move, because like when you normalize something in society, you actually create more of that behavior. So like Canada, it's a good example. Like as they've made weed legal, older and younger people are starting to smoke more and more and more, right? And it's, I mean, the old people, sure, whatever. It's the young people that's a problem, because like there's many studies that show you that if you smoke in your developing years, you have a good chance of not having as much brain function in your older years. And sometimes I think about that because I smoked young, and I'm like, damn, if I can think this good now, imagine how good I would have been.
Yeah, you've been limitless.
Right? So that's how I feel about it, because I just don't like normalizing behavior that's not good for everyone. The medicinal part of it, I agree with that, and I'm pretty sure in Texas you can get like medicinal, but you have to go through like a program, and your doctor and everything has to approve all this. But like, yeah, I don't see a good benefit to actually legalizing it. And then the
Good to see you, King.
tags on the car, that's important, right? If we don't have something that can like tell officers or somebody you hit that you have a license plate, registration, ownership, insurance, if we can't link that car to somebody, if some dude smokes a family and takes them out and then just takes off and they have no tags, we don't get no justice. He's not going to pay. We need these tags in society for it to function.
Well, see, and that's where I feel like, no, that's a ripoff. Insurance companies are ripoffs. Totally. And so,
What? So wait, in that situation I just said, who pays?
Well, that's what I'm fixing to explain. I carry the bill of sale in my glove compartment. So there's your proof that that's my vehicle. If I hit somebody, if I cause damage or harm to another person, I am responsible for that.
And if you don't have no money to pay for it, they just shit out of luck?
No, then we got to work something out. But
how is that fair to the other person? The other person shouldn't have to wait for the money because of your mess up, or you vice versa. You shouldn't have to wait for the money in a new vehicle based on the other, how you're going to get to work now, how you drive the kids to school. You have to wait on this other person to come up with the money. You can't get blood from a rock. A person could leave
And
the country and you never get the money.
and
Insurance
that
ensures that that can't happen to you.
and that is the that's the, oh, what do you call it, where they're tricking you by that way of thinking. So my mother was in an accident, and she was in a very expensive truck. I'm not sure exactly. Totaled the truck. It was the other person's fault. He ran a stop sign, hit her. His insurance, he was underinsured. So the value of the truck was not even paid. So if I hit a vehicle and I know pick and pull, I know ways that you can get parts cheaply, whatever. So I sit there and I think, okay, this looks like it's worth about $500 worth of damage. Do you agree? Yes or no? And then hand
Yeah,
them
but me, if it was
$500
my
back.
car, I'm gonna say no. That's like $5,000 damage.
And
This is
and
what
I'm
I'm
gonna
saying.
say,
There's no avoidance
prove
of this. Like, Bonnie, if they hit you and then
it.
run, and then you don't even get to see, like, you don't get his description, or even if it was a male, you don't get plates because they don't have them. There's no insurance. Nothing links. Who now? Nobody pays. That's a very dangerous way to set up the driving system, don't you think? I would want
I,
justice for you. I don't want this person you to just have to rely on some idiot that may or may not pay you, right? And then that
but you
system, I'm
are.
sorry, but especially when I was younger, if I ever got in an accident, I wouldn't have been paying nobody. I would have dipped. Like, so like, and I'm just being honest. I was a degenerate in my past, so I would have hit people and run. And then drunk drivers, oh my gosh, how do we identify them? It's just,
I think that's like a lot of topics. Several things can be true at the same time. I mean, I
Yes,
think certain laws or certain policies, are in place, to protect the whole. Because I mean, ultimately, that's just protecting the people that's ultimately going to break them. If we don't break them in our own personal interactions, we don't have to deal with it unless it comes into our situation. Then we have to deal with that other person's insurance or whatever it may be. So
right.
I
That's
do it.
what I'm worried about. I'm not worried about saving the person who's the dumb driver. I'm worried about saving you when the dumb
Yeah,
driver hits you. I want to make sure you get compensation. You still have a car to get to work. You still have, you know what I mean? That's what the insurance is for. Because without that, a lot of people are going to lose their jobs, lose their houses, just simply off of their vehicle not being working for a month, even. A lot of people, that's their bread and butter, how they get everything. That would be a huge loss for a lot of people. And like I said, the innocent lady driving her family gets smoked and the family gets killed. Well, now we don't even know who it was. That and so like I used to be on this side, to be honest. I used to think insurance was a huge scam, but then I started realizing this side of it. I started realizing actually, like, I'm the one who's protected actually in the end. It's good that they have to have insurance to be on the road, or else they could
oh,
screw me big time.
oh, definitely. But I mean, it definitely serves its purpose. But like anything, it can be corrupted or taken advantage of. Um,
yes.
there are some instances. Of course, everybody's. You know, me and you both could own a house, a truck, a boat, and everything, but our insurances are going to be totally different depending on our lifestyle,
This
where
I'll
we're
agree
at.
with you. Making men pay more for insurance, being depending on the type of vehicle you have, these type of things.
Yeah,
I agree with you here.
yeah.
This is where
There's
I'll
all those
agree
little
with you.
things. I mean, ultimately, the original structure and idea is sound if everybody follows the rules. But like a lot of things, the rules can get changed. You know, the goalposts get moved. It's not a
Yeah.
cookie cutter thing. You know,
But I
everybody's
agree with
situation is
that. Like
different.
when they're like, "Oh, if your car's red, your insurance is going to be more." Like,
Yeah,
why?
yeah. Why does my
What?
paint job,
Like, it's
increase
just
my
dumb.
insurance? You know, it's just do I
Yeah.
have Jack and the Beanstalk paint? It's just going to magically make it grow faster. I don't
It's
know.
yeah.
So
So
the plan is, okay, so how should the insurance company work it? By the value of your vehicle or some way? Because, okay, some of us can drive for 50 years and never have an accident, but yet we're paying $100 to $150 a month to an insurance company that there's never a claim filed on. Where's that money going?
yeah, the way I would say it should be is like there's like a normal rate for everyone. It's not based on the vehicle. It's based on the average pricing of a vehicle. And then if you have a nicer vehicle, or if you drive a Lamborghini, you pay a premium. If you want the premium, simple, right? I pay a premium on mine and I don't even need it, right? It's not that I have a big fancy car. I just want that if anything ever happens, they have to pay for the whole thing. The whole thing's getting paid for.
Yeah,
So that's all. But like, yeah, you,
I understand that, but you're paying that all your life and never have an accident. You don't feel that you've been cheated out of that money?
no, because it was a protection of a in case, right? It's like um what's a good analogy I could give you? It's like I I I spend money on shoes and eventually these shoes wear out, right? But I had those shoes to protect my feet for a set amount of time, right? So I don't think I was cheated out of anything because I paid a certain price for this certain amount of time. You know what I'm trying to say? Maybe it was not a great analogy, but
so I
um
mean, it's similar. You know, ultimately, it's one of those things. For some people, you ultimately you could pay more into it than you ever seen a benefit. You know, and of course, I think something like that should be rewarded. You know, for whatever it may be. I guess some places do it now. Good driving history, whatever it may be. But yeah. I don't know. It's just one of those things. You know, you kind of got to have it to interact with the system, and hopefully you never have to use it. You never want to have to do any type of policies or anything. But
right.
unfortunately, it's I guess like that security blanket or something we
Yeah,
pay for.
exactly. It's like a W that you didn't have to use it,
Yeah,
right? It's like good. I didn't
yeah.
have to ever.
It's still going to be a hassle, but maybe, hopefully, in most cases, it could be less of a hassle. You know.
Yep, 100%.
Hmm.
I mean, even like certain health insurances and stuff, you know, we hopefully we don't have to go and use this service
Right.
unless it's just a routine thing or something like that. But I mean, ultimately, it's the same kind of thing, you
It's
know.
better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it.
Oh,
Right.
definitely, yeah, yeah. And I know everybody's situation is different. I know nothing is as cheap as it once was, you know.
Oh yeah, shit's
I mean,
expensive now. I get it.
but yeah,
Yeah, but I honestly I used to be on that same side. I used to say this is a scam. Why am I paying for this stupid sticker? Why am I paying for insurance? Why am I paying? Like, it's just I was like, this is just a way to get our money. I used to think the same thing, but then I realized actually without it, we'd have a lot more problems on the roads because
Well,
people are
that
just
is
not
just one
honest.
of,
Unfortunately, I like I said, I wish more people would treat people how they wanted to be treated, but you just don't
yeah,
see that anymore.
that's just one example. And if you put that money back each month, I mean, I don't know. It's just paying a middleman for, and that's where self-governing comes in.
Well, but if you think about putting that money away yourself or something, that if you put it away, say you're driving
You're
for
gonna
three
use it.
months, 3 months worth of it, that insurance money isn't gonna do nothing, but that insurance is gonna cover you. So you know, like they take a risk at first with you, and then make money long term, right? Because like you could get in an accident the very next month after you get insurance, and they have to pay.
I
So like,
understand.
yeah,
And so that money comes from the other people who've been never making a claim, paying all this money all these years. It all evens out. I can see how that happens. People
Yeah.
are driving worse than they used to. It is insane to see the way some people drive. It it just shocked me. Um, most of it is no consideration for the other drivers. Um, looking at
people
something,
break in people's cars all the time. Like it happens often where people go into people's cars when they're sleeping at night and they break a window or something, and then
Oh yeah.
insurance
oh,
pays for that too.
yeah, well, if you have full coverage, not if you have just what you're required.
If you
But
just have liability, you're talking about, yeah.
yeah, and um, I haven't had that happen, so I didn't even think of that one. um,
Like if someone steals your car too, Bonnie, we have a way to get a connection to it. If there is no connection to it, then it's easier to hide a stolen car,
what would
right?
insurance have to do with a stolen car?
Well, the tags in general. The tags is what connects the car to the registered owner.
Oh, I get
Maybe
it.
location, or maybe if they did any damage or anything. I don't know. I don't know what all would be covered under a particular policy, but maybe I
Right.
don't know any type of theft or damage.
Isn't
Yep.
that what serial numbers do?
Yeah, VIN numbers. I mean, yeah, all that helps identify cars. But I mean, even though a VIN number, it only tracks it to the last purchase, you know.
Yeah,
But you know, of course, on newer cars, all that stuff's digitalized and transferred over. You know.
be charming. It wasn't covered under my homeowner's insurance. Yeah, I had just liability on my car because it's old and paid off, and we had a really bad hailstorm, football size hail, busted out the windows and put a big old dent in the hood, and still have the dent in the hood. Replaced the windows, had to pay cash for it because the insurance didn't cover it. Home insurance didn't cover it, although it was sitting in the driveway, which you would think it would be part of the home, but no, and the insurance wouldn't cover it. So I had to pay cash for it.
Yeah, I think with home insurance, it's like you'd have to um either look at they looked at either a couple things, right? Because you
Good
said your
night,
car's
Jerry.
old. What's that?
Oh, I was telling Jerry good night. Have a
Oh,
blessed one, Jerry. I appreciate you
Right
being here.
there.
yeah. You said your vehicle's old though.
Well, it's a 2012. That's old.
2012. Yeah, yeah. So like, yeah, that, and like depending what vehicle it is and everything, like they don't have too much value, right? Cars depreciate value pretty quickly. As soon as it leaves the lot, it goes down in value. So
Yeah, oh yeah.
yeah,
Mhm.
that could be the case there, which it sucks. It does suck, but
Oh, because it's
that's why insurance
so
on the specific vehicle is what's good. Yeah, they would have if they would have valued it and they would have said, "Oh, this car's worth like $100." I'm not. We're not covering this. Like, right? Or so,
Yeah,
I don't know. But yeah, I'd have to know
yeah.
all the details. But that is a case it could happen. Or if in your thing it specifically says it doesn't cover vehicles in your parking lot or something, because there's some that will point this out.
Some
Mm.
things can make it harder, like on the older cars. It may not have a listing value of much. It doesn't. It has more value to the person. It may be old. It's easy to work on. It may drink a lot of gas, but it's dependable. You know, I think a lot of those things
Yep.
kind of get slowly phased out. I don't know. You said you were 33, but I don't know if you remember that whole Cash for Clunkers campaign. I
Mhm.
think like in the late 2000s that they ran, where they were buying up like
They
old.
still do it. They still
Yeah,
do it.
yeah. That
Yeah.
was like the kind of beginning initiation phase of, hey, this is what we're doing. But
Yep.
yeah, and it ultimately evolved into certain things we see now, what they try to do with the electric cars, or certain limitations on certain things.
Yeah. The electric car thing, you know, I tell everybody, Elon was a genius when he made this move, right? Because what he did is he went around and met up with a bunch of big investors and told them how, like, the future is gonna need electric vehicles. Like, we're absolutely gonna need them. And a lot of investors believed it, so they invested billions, and now he's the richest person on the planet.
Yeah, I do electrical as a trade, so I
Okay.
kind of see some of the ins and outs of that, and we'll get customers that think it's just so easy as them just going and buying a Tesla or buying an electric vehicle, bring it home, and we install the plug, and they're good to go. A lot of them don't even realize, your internal panel box or your electrical system has to be compatible. You have to have space for that plug to go, because it's not something you could just plug in anywhere. It has to be a dedicated line, which a dedicated line means that it's the only thing on that line. There's no other breakers, outlets, or anything else connected to it. It's straight
Yep.
from your panel box to your car charger. And then we go to their home, they're thinking it's just a simple couple $100 charger install, and we have to tell them no. It's actually going to be, you have to spend thousands of dollars and upgrade your whole home's electrical system to even make this car charger compatible.
Yep.
You know, but yeah, just like anything, I just tell people, do your research, always dig a little bit deeper. What works for you may not work for me, but you find a way to make it work.
Yeah. All I used to picture is the idea of, like, just a bunch of electric vehicles that are on a pile up in a snowstorm on the highway, and then they all just start
Yeah,
dying after one another. They just all start dying. Everyone's
yeah,
cooked. Like, you'd build a graveyard right there on the highway. It's it's the most. I think that's a horrible idea, right? Like, cool, I guess, for people who want to go get an electric vehicle to be cool or whatever, I guess. But yeah, it's not a smart idea, I don't think.
I don't know what part of the world you're in, but I live here on Georgia, and I was of course they've been around for a little while now. It's not nothing new, but the last time I was up in Atlanta a few months back, I seen the what is it, the Waymo cars or whatever, those type of self-driving cars for the
Yeah,
first time,
yeah.
and I said, oh man, this was going to be a nightmare. And then sure enough, within the next couple weeks, I was just seeing all these different things about that version of self-driving car, whatever they title it. And
Locking people in it, fucking driving them to the wrong place. Like,
yeah,
it's, oh, dude, no
yeah.
way. I don't know where
I
anyone
mean,
thought self-driving vehicles was gonna be a good idea.
yeah. The Jetsons seem like a cool reality, but how fast do you want to get to that reality? Wasn't that far off. It was in 2062. So I mean, how far off, or how far are we into that reality?
The reality of,
Just the reality of maybe just technologies and different things.
oh,
That
okay.
type of electric or self-sufficient, self-providing device, whatever it may be, car, robotics, whatever it may be.
Yeah, I think people, because of the human aspect of us, it won't go as far as people, I think, um like there's a lot of people that kind of get like doomy and gloomy about it. But like we've already seen like the failed operations of like where they tried to make like McDonald's fully operated, right?
Yeah,
Like where no workers are there, and like people don't like it. People stopped going. They have to shut them down because people are like, "Whoa, what the fuck? I want a person taking my order. I don't.
right,
What is
right.
this? This is weird." It's because we yearn for human connection. Is it, like people can like um re- try to replace it for a certain amount of time, but it always comes back on them, right?
Yeah,
They always end up going loopy or being some like really like weird outcast. Like that's what the whole like thing with the Unabomber, right? When it goes puts himself in a bush and then goes insane.
yeah. I mean, even as much as we may despise or dislike, not so much as hate. I really hate using the word hate, but maybe we see bad things. Not necessarily like we're just it's just doom and gloom. We can acknowledge the snake in the grass. It doesn't mean we're fearful to walk through it. We just have an acknowledgement that this exists. But yeah, I don't know. I just kind of lost my train of thought. But yeah,
It's
but
all right, I do that too.
yeah. Kind of acknowledge certain things, just like any tool, any tool could have whatever purpose you want, nefarious or beneficial, you know.
Yeah, that's true.
We just sharpen our swords and put on a little bit stronger armor, whatever it is we have to contend with in day-to-day life.
100%. Yeah, man.
Yeah, I remember doing electrical years ago. They started putting in the kiosks, and we did the electrical and kiosk installment for all the McDonald's in the area. And yeah, like you're saying, people hated them because it was just a basic human interaction. If you're going to do like a cookie cutter order or something, yeah, I could see it. But if you want a number three, hold the cheese, extra pickle, light on the onions, heavy on the mayo, or whatever your combo is, the AI, there's no thing for that. You can either get this or that.
Yep.
It's the basic human interaction of just being able to do something like that. You can't do with AI fully.
And then, like, who do you hold responsible when, like, some fucking like shard of glass gets put into one of the sandwiches, or like, like there's just too much
Yeah.
problems with this,
Too
right?
much that happens when it's just human interaction. But now you've
Exactly.
eliminated the basic thought of being able to acknowledge that there's a problem. Yeah,
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think it'll go as far as a lot of people think. There's a lot of people who like, imagine this like iRobot future, with these like robots walking around able to like function just like us and do everything the same as us. And like, we're a long way from that, man. We're a
yeah.
long way.
It's not going to happen overnight. It's the long game on most of this stuff. Just like we were speaking about the insurance. When you first start off, it's just they're hoping you're a good guy, good driver, but ultimately it's the long game. We as humans, our experiences are just but a short time. No matter how much we see or do, it's still small on the grand spectrum of whatever this is we're doing, seeing, feeling.
Yeah, that's true. We're a finite
Yeah,
uh time in this big picture here.
yeah. Even as beautiful and
Right.
fascinating as each one of us are, yeah,
That's why I love history. It's one of the things that fascinates me, right? Is like looking at like where we were to where we are today, like the things that have inspired the different cultures, the things that still inspire culture today. I get really fascinated by these things, and I think it helps us keep on track of what we're doing today.
oh, no doubt. Curiosity and communication, is very well when directed in the right avenues or genres. Definitely history. That's one of my. I'm not an expert on any topic by any means, but I do find history fascinating. I do love studying different aspects of it, just as a whole in general. Some things change and some things never change.
I think there's some things that can't, obviously, right?
Yeah, ultimately, I think, yeah, we have to acknowledge that some things maybe just can't, you know. I may be okay with that. But if they can't, I'm okay with that still. Some things are just out of my control. What little bit I can, what limited I am to what I can control.
That's why I think more people are turning to self-sufficient, because we can only control what we allow in.
That's it. I definitely, whatever level of self stability you can be, whatever it may be, entrepreneurship, backyard garden, I don't know, building things, creating an avenue for someone else to do that, whatever it may be. I encourage anybody to do it. Do whatever it is you want to do. Be the best version of yourself. Ultimately, your light and your being and your essence is going to ultimately shine bright enough to encourage somebody. We may not be able to reach 1,000,000 or 1,000,000,000, but if we could reach one, you know,
Yep. And it's pecan. Just saying.
what'd you say now? Don't be promoting fake news now. Yeah, everybody's got a
Virginia
different
just
view.
keeps talking about her pecan.
Yeah, it's pecan. I don't know what you're talking about. You're just now figuring out about grits, so you got to pace yourself with this stuff, Bonnie.
No, pecans are what you pee in. I'm not calling a food a pecan. That's just wrong.
I may be from the South, but we don't pee in cans anymore. I do have indoor plumbing. I have, we're not that we're not that Neanderthalic. We do enjoy the finer things.
Yeah, that makes sense. I always say too, this is the only power we have, right? Well, not the only, but a lot of like the regular Joe schmoes like myself, um that this is the power we have is our voice and to inspire the culture for change, right? 'Cause you're not gonna go do nothing on your own. It's not you're not gonna go and like oh, sorry, my wife was texting me there. You're not gonna go and like boycott something and make people stop buying it with just you doing it, right? Like you have to inspire people of why they should be boycotting this thing, or why
Right.
they should be making this vote, or why they should be trying for this change in their local offices. Like this is the only way you can do it though, right? You have to inspire the culture around you. That was a big reason I came to YouTube.
And that's the job of you younger people. We know the old ways. We know um, the way it used to be, the good old days, early 1900s.
Yeah.
And
But that's why I would say it's the job of the older generations too, though, to explain these things, right? To
well,
show
true.
what where they're
Yes,
messing up.
the
Yeah.
the knowledge is all out there, and that's why I encourage people to journal. Um, pass down those traditions and ways of living to the younger generations. But because of divorce being so easy, taking God out of the home, taking the fathers out of the home, it has caused a society of um, instant gratification and kind of selfishness, maybe. I'm seeing it more in the younger, not not necessarily y'all's generation, but younger. Um, so that's where I think the work is. And there used to be programs. The Big Brother program, and where you could help those kids that don't have a male influence in the home, or and so that's where we're failing. That we have a government that you think you should be able to look up to, and it's failing us. You have a society, people that you used to could trust, police officers, firemen, teachers, all these people of authority that you used to could be able to trust. Well, okay, we thought we could, but it just seems to be breaking down more and more every day. And I think that that is our biggest problem.
With the police and everything, I think it's just louder now because of the internet, right? Like if you look at like the big picture of things, most police officers are good police, right? I think it just comes
I'm not,
louder now because that's what they feed us on the internet and on the news because that's what gets people engaged is the bad
no,
stuff.
I'm not ditching police.
No,
Okay,
no, I know that. I'm just saying I think that's what has a lot to do with the mistrust in the police is because they put on TV and the internet, they're constantly feeding us with like, oh, look at this cop doing this bad
no,
thing.
I've seen it personally. Okay, like, I have seen the good old boy system at work completely, totally, and it's not good. I have been in a situation where the abusers should have been held accountable even when they confessed, but I was blamed. And I could go on for an hour about that. Girls have to be careful of how they dress, if they wear makeup, um, anything that could provoke the attention of a man, whether it's unwanted or not. Um, there are there's so many layers to what I'm trying to say that you just can't cover it all. There's just no way.
Yeah, I get what you're trying to say. I mean, I disagree about like
And I
if
have seen
girls dress
police.
a certain way and don't want attention. I don't think that
Okay, but
should
I've
be
also seen it where police officers, it's a high stress job, just like firefighters,
of
EMTs,
course, yeah.
you name it, high stress job. So the family violence, the domestic violence is pretty high, believe it or not. And so if they don't take out their aggression at home, where are they going to take it out at? Preferably, go play pool, go
Well, this
bowling,
is
go
again
do
a
something.
minuscule compared to the bigger picture. Like if you look at like all cops, there's a very
No,
minimal amount that's going home and
right,
abusing their family.
right. But I'm just saying, i- any any position where it's high stress, you're gonna hit a breaking point. And I don't care what it's doing, what you're doing that could cause all that stress. So that's where I don't know if it just seems like it's all tied together.
Well,
The
I would
the
say there's
whole
bad people in all professions, though, right? Like
yes,
tying I've seen the studies you're talking about, but when I look at like the methodology of these studies, like it's just a correlation that they're trying to put together. But if you look at cops on a grand scale, like most cops aren't abusing their family members and aren't abusive on the job,
no,
right?
most people are not criminals.
Yeah.
So that's a mute argument there. It's just,
What do you
I'm
mean?
saying that
How is it
that
mute if we're saying that what you're taught, like the abusive
it
cop is
does
the
happen.
exception?
If I've seen it, and I have lived in the country most of my life, if I'm seeing it, then what are these people who live in the city seeing? What are I'm thinking that it's almost everything is more so in a city than it is in the country. Correct? Because there's more
Not
people.
necessarily. I'd say it'd
There's,
be easier to be a corrupt cop in the country than it would in the city.
well,
There's not as many witnesses. You could a lot of the people know each other, so you can like refer to them to make them scared of them. Like that, I see that happen within the country too. But like,
yes,
but I'm not seeing the link though between the like high stress job and the abuse.
because I feel that if families were as they are meant to be, none of this would be happening. That's where I was going with that. If people were sticking together,
Just
taking
kind of
care of
gets
each
back to the
other,
roots or the foundation of, kind of whatever you believe
yes,
in or what you see, no matter
yeah,
how nice of a house you want to build, if it's on unstable foundation, it's never gonna be successful. Same with a tree, if a tree doesn't have strong roots, it's not gonna thrive. Whatever our
yeah,
roots and our foundations are.
that's what I mean. Is it's the foundation has been shaken or
We
taken
all see
away.
bad things, in all
Yeah,
professions,
but
and
I wouldn't say it has to do with like high stress. Like the foundation of the like the family unit being broken apart is a result of like feminism being pushed into society in every aspect.
Oh, Virginia, 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 Virginia.
What? Who's Virginia?
She is a very well spoken young lady that
she's one of a kind. I'll put the link in chat, see if she wants to join. But yeah, I think there's like on a lot of different things. I know each there's specifics on each one, but I think a lot of things, you could each person will pinpoint, they'll say, hey, this is when it started to all break down, or this is when it's all started to break down. But I think it's just overall, it's just a big picture, the continuum of things. And ultimately, one thing doesn't always lead to another, but you put enough of them together, you start having overlaps. That makes
yeah,
any sense.
yes. And feminism, really?
Yeah.
So, what do you mean by feminism, first of all, is what I would like to know.
So the idea of getting rid of the patriarchy and that women and men are like equally interchangeable widgets.
Interchangeable? No, I'm not interchangeable with any man.
You think you can do anything a man can do?
No, I do
Oh,
not.
okay. Well, yeah. See, that's what I mean. But feminism would say that you can. That's that's
I
a toxic thing to teach young girls that they have to compete in society with men.
Well, I do teach my girls to be strong in their own independence because I don't want them to just settle for anyone. I want them to look, if they're looking for a mate, they don't have to have a mate. But if they are looking for a mate, to look for someone who is compatible with them intellectually, in 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 all the ways that matter, in raising the children, in what you will allow and will not allow, all of those things combined. So they are very strong. They are very, I wouldn't want to cross one of them. And they do know how to protect. So have I masculinized my girls? No. I have made them stronger so that they do not have to depend on a man for protection or
Well, they still will, right?
financial or whatever. It depends. I mean, it depends on how successful they are.
Well, no, we all
And
depend on men.
if we all depend on men,
Yeah, well, the majority of the military is men, majority of the police force men, majority of firefighters men, majority of infrastructure is men. We all depend on men. It's not a bad thing
okay,
to say.
so it's a man's world. How's that working out?
Built for women.
Built for women?
Yeah. We used to
Oh
protect
my
women a lot more before
goodness.
feminism was implemented, right? Like women, for instance, in the US
But
couldn't inherit debt. They were never responsible for debt. This was a way to make sure that we were protecting the bottleneck of our population, right? Like population doesn't go on without women, and we realized that, so we needed to protect women. That's why we didn't allow them in the military. They weren't allowed to inherit debts. They
so
were.
you're saying that just because of feminism, you would not protect a woman?
Oh no! What? No, that's not what I'm saying. No,
I
I,
mean,
I'm saying
okay, if you're talking about in a relationship, yes, the man is the leader of the home. That is his castle. The woman takes care of the castle and the children. But at the same time, that doesn't mean walk all over her.
well,
That
no one said
doesn't
that.
mean, no, I know, but I'm just saying that's that's where that's where the equality, I believe, comes in, is that it's not,
Well, how
you
can you
know,
lead if it's equality?
it's spiritually, um in okay, I've been married twice. Both of my marriages, I had to take care of all the finances because they couldn't or didn't do a very good job of it. Um, I had to take care of the children. I had to take care of the home. I had to work. So we're both out there working. So to afford this home and these vehicles and these children. So where does the divide come in at that time? You're you're both supporting the home, and it should be a home that you are building for your family.
Yeah, and like in my opinion, those men should have been taking care of the financial needs so that you could have focused just on the home.
But men quit doing that.
And like I think,
Just,
don't
just
you?
like
Well,
they
I know
quit
they did,
protecting.
and that's a
So
failure on
what
them. I think.
happened? And
Well, I would say that's a failure on that man.
I don't, but I don't believe that feminism is what caused that. I believe it's society. I
Well, yeah,
believe that
because
it,
if it wasn't for feminism, you would have never accepted a man that you have to um, pay anything for. What it sounds like your situation wasn't like something like it was just like a temporary taking care of things so that he could like get his stuff together. It sounds like you were the one taking care of everything, and I think that's because society tricked you to make you believe like that's how it should be. No, a man should take care of his woman, all her needs and the kids, and if he's not going to, he doesn't deserve her.
What if he's not physically able?
Well, this would be a different situation, right? Like, so you're saying like some accident happened and he's like not
Yes.
physically able to do this anymore. Well, I would say in this situation, yeah, this would be a whole different situation. And I would say that it would still be up to him to handle how the finances are dealt with so that the woman can focus on the home when she's not working. So she doesn't have to be burdened with all these other things.
Thank you, Jerry. Can you see chat?
I
Speak easy.
wasn't looking at it, but I can.
I think a lot of this has been created for this purpose.
A lot of different factors.
Oh,
But
CIA made feminism, that one?
Yeah. Just blurt it
Yeah,
out.
it was a part of it, and the occult. That's where feminism comes from. It's occultists, people who wanted to break up the family homes. This is where this all comes from. Like I bring up abortion earlier. Margaret Sanger was one of the biggest pieces of crap to live. Okay, like she wanted to eliminate the black race. Like she was a total bonehead. All right, but she's the reason we have Planned Parenthood today, because she tricked a bunch of people into saying, yeah, it's a medical necessity. You need this. You guys need this. It's sick. It's sick. And these are like, if you look back into the history of where feminism comes from, where these ideas of do what you want and anyone, as long as you don't hurt no one, and abortion, all of this stems from really evil people, like sick individuals. And I if I owned a business, right, and my only care was money, well, I live in a society right now where only half the people are working, and because of that, we got to pay what they're worth. Well, if I get the other half of society to keep working, then we can pay them all less. They're going to all be living week to week, and I'm going to make billions of dollars. And that's what they've done. They've tricked a bunch of women into thinking they have to work so that they can make billions of dollars off of them. They tricked the woman. They said, you don't need to be subservient to your husband. No, you need to be subservient to some boss at work that doesn't care about you. It doesn't care about your kids. Go work for that man. Don't serve your husband. Serve that man. That's what they tricked women into doing.
so I'm assuming this would be a bad time to look for a sugar mama. Is that what you're saying? You know what I mean?
No, it's the opposite. If anyone's gonna find a sugar mama, it's in these days because they've tricked women into thinking that's a good thing.
But no, it's ultimately, I've never been married myself. I don't have children. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, ultimately, it's just me and my immediate family, friends, and loved ones. But I imagine anytime you enter that, you want to be the best version of yourself. We've all been broken down in many different ways and rebuilt. But it's kind of hard for two people that's broken and still trying to figure out things. It's not always that case. Some beautiful things can happen that way. I've seen it happen. But ultimately, we all want to be the best versions of ourselves. Especially
Yeah,
if
I
you're
get
taking
that
that leap into
sentiment, but I
marriage
would
or
say
family.
I would also remind you, no one's perfect, and you're never gonna feel like you're the best version you could be. You could always be better. You're always gonna feel like that, and that's another thing I don't like. People getting too caught up in, right? Like it's like this idea of like you want to be the best version of yourself before you start a family because you could end up
Yeah.
waiting too long, right? Because like
Oh, no doubt.
I'm never satisfied, dude. My wife's always mad at me about it. Like if I edit a video, I got to do it like 10 times and I still don't think it's good enough. I write these skits out. I don't think they're that great after. Like I'm the worst critic of myself. I always think I could be better. And you'll end up doing that to yourself too.
Yeah. I think ultimately we all are our worst critics, you know, about
Yes.
certain things.
100%. Because we know us the best.
Yeah, no doubt.
Man in the mirror. Look within.
Yep, 100%.
But like my main man James Brown once said, it's a man's world, but it wouldn't be nothing without a woman.
That's it. That's
There you go.
actually, it's funny when you said, so you're saying it's a man's world. I'm writing a book called "It's a Man's World Built for Women," and
There
it's
you go.
actually
Well, make
about
sure you
all of
include a
this.
James
Oh,
Brown quote in
no.
that. There you go. There you go. Sweet.
But yeah, it's literally about all of this, and that's the like, you know. And I'm not like I don't when I say like I think you've been tricked. I'm not trying to like be disrespectful. I think this has happened to a lot of women. Like I think a lot of women have this idea because they've been indoctrinated with this from young, like this idea. Like look at the waves of feminism and what more and more came out each time. Like by the second wave they were walking around topless and throwing their body. Yeah, like what are we doing? Like it went from like women just want rights to like women want to be deviants. Like what? And I think it actually makes women look bad, right? Like it almost made women look like they're meant to be treated like just meat and dollars. And that's a gross thing to me. I think that they're supposed to be the most protected in society as women and children. That's why they get on the boats first.
But do they?
Yes. In the Titanic, when the Titanic went down, they definitely put the women and children up first. 100%.
Only the rich.
No. Women and children got to go. That's how it went. And then the rich. Yeah, the rich come before the poor. That's usually how it goes, unfortunately.
Hmm.
If I come to your house in a business suit and start talking to you, or if I come all raggedy, smelling like poop, which one are you going to engage with? You're going to engage with the business suit guy, not the guy smelling like poop and raggedy. It's not a bad thing. It's just a recognition of how humans interact with each other, and it's a pattern recognition, right? Most people that look like that aren't going to behave so well, and I don't think it's a bad
Actually,
thing.
I would probably feel more comfortable conversing with
With the
the
poop smelly one?
scraggly.
No.
Yes, truthfully,
No way.
because
Come on. Okay, how about this then? You're walking down the street. There's a guy got his pants low, hat like this, bandana up like this,
with
and
his
then
butt hanging out and the
butt hanging out, all that. You're probably gonna cross the road, right? You're probably not gonna go want to walk by this dude.
Well,
But the one
I would walk by him, but I would think he looks ridiculous. I mean,
well, that's good enough. You think he looks ridiculous. But the guy in the business suit on the cell phone, you just think, oh, he's probably going to work.
Yeah,
no,
that
I
guy's up
think
to something. You know what I mean? Why is he wearing a
there's some
suit? It's too hot out here for a suit.
right.
Yeah.
No, but like I think we judge books by their covers, so to speak, all the time, and I don't think it's actually a bad thing. It's a good way humans protect themselves. It's a because humans are basing things usually off pattern recognition, and like usually the thug looking guy like me, I think it makes sense if people like look at me and don't trust me. I think it makes sense. That's fine. I don't like fault them for it, or they look at me and they think, this guy's dumb. Sure. It was dumb that I put a tattoo on my face, 100%. You know what I mean? So like I understand these things, and I've come to reality with it so that it doesn't actually like deviate you from your like main path of what you're doing. Because this is what I was talking about earlier, is like they feed so much shit through the media, through the schools now, through everything to like keep people divided so much. And I think this is why I bring up
Yeah.
feminism, is because feminism was a way to divide men and women. That's what it was. It's a way to like tell women that they've been treated completely wrong. Like the history is all wrong that they teach. Like
Well, and like Virginia said, Thank LBJ. Thank, I mean, the 50s and 60s. That's, yeah. My grandparents were married. I know we celebrated their 65th anniversary. So they were married longer than that, even. And I saw how it worked. And not very many people get that experience. Thankfully, my grandmother was the one that I spent the most time with. My mother was of that generation that she was married 6 times. That ought to explain it. So I could see where it split just in my family.
Now you see the differences in generations.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I get it. Yeah, I just if you look into the,
Yeah.
if you ever actually a good book by Rachel Wilson, The Occult of Feminism. If you read
Mhm.
this book, you might get a good idea of like the history of feminism and where it comes from and why you know, a lot of this actually, you know, a lot of it comes from like witches even, right? Like this was a, so how like this is who used to perform abortions, was people who identified as witches. Like this is the where it goes back to. Like it's a you know, it's a good read, really good read, and then you're going to want to look into a lot of things after you read it because of all the different sites, source sightings and everything. But yeah, I suggest that book heavily.
Yeah. Well, I just see a lot of things that have contributed to the breakdown of society.
Oh yeah, there's definitely a lot of different things. Yeah, I just say
Not
that I think that's the most. that's the that's one of the
pivoting points.
yeah, the big pivoting points, especially within Western society and like where we started seeing a huge moral decay.
Yeah, I can
Yeah.
see that. See, I can agree.
Oh yeah. I think ultimately,
100%.
no matter, I think from anybody here, we're all from different walks of life, different viewpoints. But I think ultimately we could find more things to agree than not agree. You know,
Right.
generally speaking.
And that's where conversation comes in. And I think communication is key to any relationship. And that's where you talk it out and then you can come to a compromise of some sort. Eventually, every problem has a solution, I believe.
No doubt. Just a problem yet to be solved.
100%. And I think a lot of people need Jesus.
Yes, definitely. I wouldn't
That's
be right here right now if it wasn't for oof, yeah.
based. But yeah, you said that earlier too, that they took the church out of the home. That was
Yeah.
a big problem, a big part of why people have lost any sense of morality.
Yes, I agree.
Someone in my chat said, "Everyone needs Jesus." Yes, sir.
Oh, you're restreaming?
Yeah, we're live on my side too.
Uh-oh.
There you go.
I can imagine the comments in his too.
I appreciate it. It's been good conversation. You know what I mean? No doubt. And ultimately, we all
100%.
should read past the book, but I mean, ultimately, with sight, we see the book before we see its contents, before we see its character, the chapters, the story. You know.
Hey, the human, good to see you.
Yeah, that's what's up. And that's why that's actually like kind of like another reason I do these panel purges, right? It's the whole idea of is for me to go and talk to different people with different worldviews. Sometimes it's debates, sometimes it's arguments, sometimes it's random conversations about anything, right? So we
Yeah.
just, the whole idea of it was to like have different worldviews collide with each other and get to an idea of truth. Because like I believe ultimately, truth is objective, right? There's one truth. As much as people have like their truth, right? Like what they believe to be true. There's still an objective truth behind everything. So I think a good way for us to get there is to talk it out, right?
No doubt. No doubt.
Absolutely.
There was a. It reminds me of a quote. I'm pretty sure most of y'all have heard of Booker T. Washington, but he once said, "The longer I live, the more I'm convinced that the one thing worth living for and dying for is the privilege of making someone more happy and more useful. No man who has ever done anything to lift his followers has ever made a sacrifice."
Yeah.
For whatever that's worth, I don't know. I like it. I like that quote. I don't think any
Yeah.
man's ever lost anything from helping or bettering another person along their journey, whatever it may be.
Yep.
It's something as
Exactly.
simple as going live and talking about it, whatever this is, the Panelverse, MySpace 2.0, I don't know, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. A smile goes a long way. God bless you. Have a good day. Just
Facts. A lot of people confuse kindness with niceness, though. That's what's happening.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, no doubt.
But as I'm traveling across these states, like I said, I'm not seeing that. I'm seeing people being very nice, like going out of their way nice. And I don't know why. I don't know if it's divine or if it's just the way Southern people are.
I might have just seen that Texas tag and said, bless their heart. You know what I mean? Let's help them
It's
along their
pretty
way.
obvious where we're from. Yes.
That's what's up. No,
That's
that's
good.
it. I think people get really pessimistic with the internet, right? The internet will show you a different like everybody's a different like version of themselves on the internet almost. That's what I've encountered, right? Like
Yeah.
there's shit that you see on the internet none of these people would do in real life, right? Or say in real life or any of that. Probably wouldn't even look at you if you were in the same grocery store.
Yeah.
So like like that's why, it is good to, go out and touch grass every now and then. Make sure you
No
remember what
doubt.
real life is like because people can get caught
Yes.
up in this.
Yes. And that's what whenever I said I was going to go, they're like, what are you going to do? And I said, I'm going snooping. I want to see.
Just like
And
cross country traveling.
yes, and there's so much history. Oh my goodness. The
Oh yeah.
national, uh, oh, where was it? I think it was Vicksburg. The So we drove the whole trail, and it was there's I think there's 1,300 monuments. Just seeing the layout of the land even and realizing what happened there, it's very, it's just really moving. I can't explain it.
No, I think I get what you're saying. It makes you realize it's not what's out here. I feel the same way about going
Yeah.
out. It's a lot. It's a lot different than these online interactions.
Yeah. As
When
fun as and entertaining
do
as
you
it is,
usually
it's
have
good to go touch grass.
like a certain schedule you go on for
No,
streaming, or
I'm
you just
still
kind of
like new to the whole, going live myself. I'm used to just, viewing and being on different panels, interacting. But for
okay?
myself, no, not really. I know there's some people in the community, they go live. I try not to, step on too many toes, but of course, ultimately somebody's going live at any given moment.
Yeah, it's
But,
always gonna be that way.
eventually probably some type of schedule, but as of right now, nothing really set,
Okay, okay.
you know.
Well, I shared your channel out here so everyone can come find you.
I appreciate if somebody could
Done it a
drop
couple
if one of
times,
the
but
moderators could drop Speakeasy's link again. I appreciate that. Yeah, I
yeah,
definitely
I
appreciate
appreciate
you
that
coming
big
over,
time.
man.
Yeah, it was
Sorry
a
about
good
last
combo.
time. We had some I guess some extra weirdos per se, and the name really didn't click. But I went back and looked at your channel. But
Yeah, no, I
yeah,
get it. That's why I was like, yeah, I get it. You can never
you
be
know,
too careful up on these.
nah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I've had it happen many times, so I
Oh, I'm
understand.
sure. I'm sure. No doubt.
Ah, shit. But it was great talking to you both, and Bonnie, great talking to you as well. I'm sure we'll have some more good convos in the future.
Likewise. You're always
It was
welcome, my
nice
friend.
talking to you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And you guys are always welcome on my side too, as well.
Yes, sir.
You guys
Thank
have a
you.
great night. God bless you both.
You too.
God bless you. You have a good night.
I need to make a few more moderators because if I try to drop a link, I'll get knocked back to Tybee Island. You know, it's good when you
Yeah,
want to go, but not necessarily when you don't want to. There we go. I appreciate that, Bonnie.
you're welcome.
Yeah, go out and definitely check out Speakeasy's channel. He has a lot of different conversations, debates, a wide spectrum of different topics, different genres. Definitely go check him out. Show some support.
Yep. I
Pilgrim, good to
appreciated
see
that
you.
chat.
Anarchy. Anybody I might have missed. It's good to see y'all. But I don't know. I guess I'm feeling pretty complete for the moment. What you say, Bunny? I'll probably
I think so.
drop the link if anybody wants to come backstage and chop it up for a bit. You're more than welcome to.
Thank you, Mother
Any
Freedom.
any final thoughts, concerns, anything that needs to be addressed?
Just, a lot of us are uh, older, or I just feel that if we can leave as much knowledge of how things got the way they are, and maybe, it only takes a mustard seed, right?
That's it. That's what they
Maybe,
say. Faith of a mustard seed.
yes. So maybe just plant that seed in the future generations, and maybe the roots will take hold, hopefully.
Oh, I understand, Cheryl. That's perfectly fine. I know you've been having issues with the certain things. No, you're good.
Yes.
I appreciate all you for being here for whatever capacity. Hopefully somebody gained something, got something, maybe lost something along the way that needed to get lost. Some things just aren't meant for us to carry certain burdens, certain thoughts. call somebody up, forgive somebody, you know. They might be sitting by the phone waiting for you to call, waiting to call you. You never know.
Yes.
Just try to close out each chapter each day a little bit better than we found it. Ultimately, I think that's all I can do, all we can do, you know.
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, like all good things, it must come to an end. But once again, I appreciate everybody who tuned in, tuned in. If you like what you saw, give it a like, give it a share, subscribe. I do appreciate it. Other than that, Watts World's out.
Good night, everybody.